Oh. Bum, 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 bum. Just an ounce of scuff. You know, there has to be. Hey, at least it's not scuff that's making us start like a whole hour late, like it did last time. Oopsies. Welcome back, Jen. I just scrambled the bus on it. Damn. You're going through the whole ringer tonight, Jess. Alrighty. Without further ado, let me head over to the screen and we will get started. Howdy doody, everybody. Welcome to Sunset Dive, Vapor City's tried and true dive bar. Pull up a seat, and if you're over 21 or your regional equivalent, get a drink. Hold on, I'm gonna try to do this. So I'm hoping they're not in the middle of a conversation because I'm about to undeafen in the.
Not fucking
Oh.
joke.
I'm incredibly excited to bring on to bring on tonight's guest, as we have a unique change of pace from our usual guest list. The both of them are coming fresh off of their release of Veritas and are already jumping into some exciting new projects that we'll touch on a bit later. First up, we have our self-described honest lore merchant and internet-described hater. We have Minbron.
Hello, thank you for having me. Happy to be here. You know, I self-admit to being a hater, you know? So that just is what it is.
I guess we have a self-identified hater as well then. Second up, we have pixel art enthusiast and master of silly voices, Lulupa.
Hello, everybody. That's my real voice. This is my stage voice now, so I sound normal.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
When you go on dates, Lou, I think that's part of your problem.
Ah, that makes a lot of sense.
Hey, baby, you want to give me a kiss?
So, how do you feel about going on a second date?
Feel free to introduce yourselves and sort of what y'all do.
I mean, I feel like you did a pretty good job already. I do most of the pixel art for the games produced by Colorgrave, and Minbron can say whatever he wants about himself.
I'm a loser. Off we go.
Damn, that bad, huh? Adjust some volumes real quick.
All right.
Perfect. Just so the both of you know, and I'm glad that you've gotten pretty comfortable already, this is just a glorified yap session, so much less of an interview, and feel free to sort of get comfortable and speak your mind.
Well, I've got some bad news. We already used all of our best material while we were waiting for the stream to start, so you guys are only getting the B-reel now.
Man, I was worried about that too. Y'all were so funny when we were prepping.
I mean, there's also the slight problem of you just told us to say whatever we want and whatever we feel. You might not like you might not like where this is going.
Oh no. Minna's gonna finally tell me that he hates me. Can't stand me being in the community.
There's a big poster on his wall that says like, I hate Misalia Dev.
It's just
how
I
much
hate
of a fan I am, you know?
It's just I hate Misalia with my
tsundere.
face and like a target over it.
I just like a really bad tsundere, you know?
It's hand painted though, so you know that there was like passion put into it.
Oh. You know, people say that love is just the other side of the coin, you know, to hate.
That's right.
The drink of the night is some good old cider. You know, light cider or some hard cider if you're, you know, drinking like me.
I've got the Angry Orchard It says Angry Orchard Imperial. Usually they've got like the bottles of the stuff, but they were
Mm.
out. So just a can for me tonight.
I'm also drinking from a can.
Hey.
Hey. I've got myself some Two Town Cider House Cosmic Crisp, which, funnily enough, was recommended to me by some random guy at the grocery store. I was sitting in the cider, or like the beer and cider aisle, and looking at the ciders, and I couldn't decide on what I wanted to get. And this guy came up and grabbed a box of this stuff, and I just flagged him down and was like, "Hey, like, if you were to recommend one of these here, would this be what you recommended?" And he was like, "I'm more of a beer guy, but I would kill for this." And I was like, "Whoa, damn."
Okay.
I mean,
Murder.
I feel like the random recommendations that you get from just passersby, those are the ones that are either really good or really terrible, and there's no in between.
All you know is that they're more than likely genuine, and that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. And unfortunately, some of Min's cider exploded. Did you decide if you're actually going to drink with us tonight?
I mean, I can go get vodka, but
Yeah, get some
Do
sippies.
you not have any of the cider still?
no, I do. But like,
Go get some of the cider, you weenie.
no, that's
Peer
my,
peer
Tim,
pressure.
no,
Peer
Tim,
pressure.
Tim,
Peer
no,
pressure.
scientifically unreasonable, Lou.
Peer pressure.
Let me get the vodka. Beer back.
Alrighty. Good job, Blue. Thank you.
I don't know. I still didn't get what I wanted.
What did you want?
I wanted him to go get the cider.
He's concerned because it like exploded, and
Well,
he's not sure if the rest of it is gonna like kill him.
I told him the reason is because it's low calorie. So obviously there was like an imbalance and it shrunk in because of how low calorie it is. It was negative calorie.
Oh, like a black hole of calories.
That's right. He would have lost weight if he drank that.
Oh, that's really good thinking. Yeah, that would have been huge.
It would have been.
Oh.
We passed up the opportunity.
Oh, goodness gracious. Off to a fantastic start.
How's yours taste so far?
Actually, I haven't even opened it yet. That's a really good point. My ass has just been yapping. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta get a good crack. Hold on.
Okay.
I mean, that's true. Unless you're like a ventriloquist, you probably can't drink and talk at the same time.
So I have nothing to mix this with except chocolate milk. So
Don't do that.
Did you just say vodka and chocolate milk?
I mean, you know, for science, you know, we're gonna just try.
That's like fine. That's not horrendous. Every winter, like one of my favorite drinks is hot chocolate and peppermint vodka, and
Okay.
like normal vodka and hot chocolate is kind of like budget that. So
That's my life, you know.
But
Budget
you can-
this, budget that.
You could make hot chocolate without milk, though. You
yeah,
could do that with like water.
that's
I'm more
true.
worried about the milk part mixed with the vodka than the chocolate part.
Dude,
I mean,
the last
milk and
time-
alcohol is fine. There's like White Russians and stuff that are really, really good.
The last time
Wow,
I had
okay.
alcohol and milk at the same time, I got really drunk at Easter, and I chugged a gallon of milk afterwards.
No!
And I was fine, but I felt like I wanted to die. So I made myself throw up, and it was all better by, you know.
Nice.
That is not a combination that feels good in your stomach.
No, usually not. A gallon of milk, dude.
Hey, hold on. Aqua Blue Tunes, how dare you say hot chocolate with water is a sin? That's how I drink it.
That's also how I drink it.
Yeah.
You know what's actually
Hold
really
on.
good? You get cocoa powder, hot water, and butter, and then you add maple syrup to it. That's actually really, really good. as an
Oh.
alternative to, like milk-based hot chocolate,
I have to give that a shot.
and it's cleaner ingredients too.
I've definitely been in the business of mixing ever since I started Sunset Dive. So I'll have to give that a try.
Oh, everyone's saying that Min's quiet compared to me.
Well, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm an ASMR content creator.
Yeah,
I want to
you have those
whisper
little
in your ear.
You have those little ear microphones.
Yeah, hang on. Is that picking it up?
No.
No.
Discord does not want that to go through.
I just licked my mic for no reason.
Okay, I turned Vin up a bit. Is that better? Can you give me some Let me try dropping the music down a little bit too. Man, can you talk for me?
Hello.
Like say a
Is that enough
sentence.
talk? My name is Mindron. It is nice to meet you, Miss Elliot Elf. It has been many moons since I last heard your name, but legend has spread over time.
Still quiet. I could only do so much. All right, I have minute 200. If this doesn't solve it, then
Can I change my outbound, I wonder? Hold on.
what's up?
I'm going to change my output volume.
Oh yeah,
do I-
Ludon. I did not miss your question. You asked who Min's little character was. It's his OC.
It's not an OC.
It's his OC.
I mean,
He
all
asked
of
me
your
to make
characters
it
are
for
OC,
him.
right?
No,
He
no.
asked me to make it for
no.
him for one of those when I used to do the drawing giveaways towards the ends of the streams or whatever.
Oh.
It's the main character from my books that I wrote when I was 16.
Yeah,
So
it's his OC.
Yeah,
It's,
which you wrote, which is they're still your
Well, I
OC.
mean, well, okay, hold on. If that's the logic we're working under, then every character in all Color Grade games are OCs. of
Yes!
mine.
No, because I help with those, and
Oh.
so they're not just yours.
Yeah, they're yours together's OCs.
Mm-hmm. There are conglomerations.
I hate that. I hate that you're. No, I don't like that. Like the only reason you said it is because you knew it would irritate me. So like, you're terrible. And
All right. Without further ado, let's let's get into some questions here. The first one that I have for you guys. So first of all, let me roll it back a little bit to explain sort of how this is going to work. I have a set of questions that are coming from me, and then I have another set of questions that we'll get to after a short break that are all from that form that I sent you guys. So, some viewer questions and some other questions. I forgot to turn off my redeems.
I'm here to help. You know.
Awesome. Thank you for reminding me.
I want to become swirly. Darn.
Do I get my points back though? Like,
No, you spent them.
what do you mean? No. You cut it off before it was done. I think I deserve a refund.
I didn't cut it off at all. I haven't cut it off yet.
No.
It's still going. That's just how long it goes.
Company's character strong. That's right. Well, that's why Popeye is the strongest character in fiction.
Oh, makes sense. Actually, you know what? I'm too lazy to do this. I'm just going to keep them on. Just don't get too Riley, chat. And Min, I guess.
Are not we also chat?
I guess so. I mean, we are chatting here, which also makes me chat.
There you go.
Alrighty, first question for the night. If you guys made a drink based on one of your games, what would it look like? / what would it contain?
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like you have an answer for that one.
It'd be the cursed cracker. It'd be orange juice with crumbled up saltines and coconut rum. No, that would make it good. It needs to be something that would be bad with orange juice. What would be really bad? Oh, I know. Mint vodka. There we go.
You lost me at
The cursed
saltines.
cracker, baby. Wait, well, I mean, think about it. That's pretty cursed.
So
It is
when you
pretty
said-
cursed.
When you said saltines, I didn't think of saltines. I thought of those, those packages of like the orange cheese crackers with the peanut butter in them. I
Mhm.
thought of
dude.
those like crumpled up in a drink.
Oh no. Putting like any solids in a drink is like immediately pretty rough. Unless it's
Hey.
like fruit. Fruit sits well in a drink.
Hey, you wanted a look. You expected a good idea, so I had to give you a bad idea. Keep me guessing.
Well, you certainly did keep me guessing. I was not ready for orange saltines and mint vodka.
Well,
Anybody
we
want to
could
mix that at
always do
home? Smiles?
We'd always do one that's based off of Claire a la mode. It'll be like a rum and a Coke, and we just put a scoop of ice cream in there.
Oh, it'd be
Good.
so good.
Dude, you wanna know my favorite weird alcoholic drink? It's called a Cowboy Cure. You get whiskey, grind up a clove of garlic and some jalapeno, ton of honey, and then mix that all in a cup of coffee.
What?
It's actually like really good. And if you're sick, like you have a sore throat or anything,
Mhm.
dude, it'll clear you out.
Yeah, I bet.
You can't listen. You can't listen to Min. He chews on coffee beans.
What? Is this real?
Why? Yeah, why not? Look, you always have time to make coffee. Sometimes you gotta run. Like, okay, this is the origin of this. John and Lou came out, and we were gonna spend a week hanging out in the country so that we could chill, we could relax and recover from what we do to ourselves. And John arrived and was complaining about a headache and was like, "Oh, my head hurts." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, we'll get you some caffeine. That'll help. I have coffee beans, or we can go to Starbucks." He's like, "I guess I'll try the coffee beans." So I just gave him coffee beans to chew on, and then he complained about it the whole time. And it's like, you said you wanted them. I just offered them. Okay?
Best part of waking up is Folgers with a crunch.
But it's actually not bad. The only reason that I ever tried it is because when I was a kid, I was at, I think, a Christmas party, and someone had chocolate-covered coffee beans in like a bowl. I thought it was just candy, and I started eating tons of them. I, of course, got way too much caffeine in my system, and was bouncing off the walls. But I quite like that little dessert item. So the idea does not feel as alien to me because of that.
I guess it wouldn't be too bad. Just the idea of chewing on raw coffee beans makes my mouth angry.
Right, it's not bad. It's genuinely not bad.
I'm learning so many things that I should maybe give a shot, or maybe not.
Also, oh, go ahead.
No, I mean, you were talking about chewing
I was
things.
just gonna say he mentioned the garlic when we went to PAX East for the first time last year. Is as part of a hey, let's not get sick routine. Min had me and Pinchy, who was there with us, and him. We all would eat like a chop of garlic, a whole clove of garlic, not like the whole bulb, but like one of the little things of it.
Yeah.
So we eat one of those before we went out to the convention center.
Well, no, there was a vitamin D pill, salt, and
a multivitamin.
Garlic, yeah. And none of us got sick. Tons of the people that we hung out with and were around all got the con flu, and we were fine. And then Lou goes to a con by himself, doesn't have me there to baby him, and he comes back and is sick. So,
That's true.
like, who's the clown here, huh?
That's true. That's true. Next time I go, I'm gonna try the garlic thing again. I'm gonna see how that works out.
Well, you got to get the other stuff too. You dingus.
What did you say it was? It was a vitamin C pill, a clove of garlic, and what?
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D, salt, and then a clove of garlic and multivitamin.
All right, I'm writing that down. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it at the convention I go to every year.
You're also supposed to eat it with like some kind of fat. I don't think we did that, but Min did. He ate like a slice of butter.
And and I was drinking gallons of milk. Like there's pictures of me at the con standing there with half a gallon of milk. Like people didn't know what to do with me because I'm just sitting there drinking this giant gallon of milk straight from the carton.
You're just trying not to get sick.
You were just doing that anyway at the time, though, so that wasn't even like
I
a
still
new
do
thing
that.
for you. I know. You were just like. I love that picture, though. That's such a good picture.
The one where I'm like I'm hover handing Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Claire
There's
standee.
a lot of beautiful layers to that photo.
Oh my god, awesome. The con going experience. I know like the last 3 times I went to con, I ended up coming back sick. Especially, oh my god, I went to Offkai, which is like a VTuber convention, just a couple months ago, and like everybody there got COVID. Everybody, mask or not, it was so bad.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
The worst I've gotten sick was actually recently. My sister got married, and they had like, I guess they kind of shared their honeymoon with the wedding party, and we all went to like some weird mountain resort in Colorado. So it was like high enough that you would get altitude sickness. So I got either like a really bad flu or COVID or something, and I'm on this mountain with altitude sickness and this like I couldn't maintain body temperature. I was shivering constantly. Oh, it was probably the worst illness experience I've had in a long time.
Oh, that sounds rough. Goodness gracious. All right, we're gonna switch gears a little bit here. I'm gonna ask for each of you, what's a game that really inspires you?
Prodigal and Curse Crackers.
Okay, you know what? That's pretty valid.
In what fashion, I
I
guess?
I inspire myself. Nothing is as good as I am, and nothing is as creative. I am the peak.
Peak.
I mean, I feel like a lot of me, like a lot of other people who get into this line of work, Cave Story was one that inspired me a lot.
Oh.
That was one where I looked at it and I played it. I'm like, I could make something that looked like this.
I think the first game that made me want to make games was Banjo-Tooie, because Banjo-Tooie and Dark Cloud, because with both of those games, I played them around the same time because I was kind of kept away from gaming by my parents for a while. And with both of those, rather than paying attention in class, I would open my note binder and I would draw maps, I would do quests, I would do the stories, and like, this is what makes this game different from this. This is why this is Banjo 3 rather than Banjo 2. And you know, I did like all these different weapons that would be great for a new Dark Cloud game. Like I was just sitting there drawing and making games in my notebook and then failing in my classes. So I think those were like the origins of inspiration.
And look at you now, you know? You're now we also get to struggle with game development too.
Yeah, I remember I was obsessed with an RTS game called Warlords Battle Cry 2. I still stand by, like, that's one of the best RTS games I've ever played.
Warlords.
And one of my family members, I don't know what the relation is, but he works in computers, and I was too young to understand, like, oh, just because you work in computers doesn't mean you can just, you know, recode anything. So I took the game to his house and said, okay, how can we make this into my own game? Because I want to add this, and I've done all the stats and all the campaign and all this sort of stuff. He just kind of stared at me like I was an idiot, which I was, but it is what it is.
It's me. I want you to make this game 3. Like
a lot of threes. I wanted Banjo 3. I wanted Warlords Battle Cry 3. Dark Cloud 3. Like, where are all the threes in my life? What's going on?
Trilogy is so hard to make a trilogy. What was that?
We still can't count to 2 over here. We'll figure it out at some point, but
yeah, that's right. We still haven't released a 2 game.
It's okay. I've been very much in like as a player, I've been very much enjoying the different experience everything has been giving. The jump from like playing Prodigal to playing Curse Crackers was like jarring in like a really fun way because it was just so much different, but still like interconnected, which is very cool.
Yeah, I mean, look, our secret is that we get bored of doing the same thing. We're sick of it by the end of whatever game, and we're like, we're doing something else. You gotta do something different.
Honestly,
Generally, like 2 months out, Lou and I hate our lives and hate the project. Like we will sit there and message each other, be like, "I fucking hate this game, dude. I'm so sick of this shit. This is the worst. Like everything's bad." And the problem is that in my case, I can say this is bad, and then I go like redo things. Like I redid all the items in Veritas again, and I redid a bunch of maps and puzzles because it's just like ah.
Yeah, it was like I remember DMing you, and we were like, not even a week out from release. It was like 4 or 5 days or something like that. And you were like, haha, yeah, just redid all the items. I'm like, are you okay?
I'm pretty convinced to be successful in game development, you have to have some degree of mental illness. So,
Yeah. There's no question. There's no question about it. There are no normal people making games.
well, no. The key difference is successful. You know,
Fair enough. Oh god, as a QA tester, I definitely feel that like listening to some of the devs that I've worked with and them coming up to me like a week or 2 weeks away from releasing whatever they're doing and then plopping like half of the game is changed in front of me and being like, "Hey, can you test all this? See if there's any bugs?" And I was like, "You have got to be kidding me."
But for me, it was a Tuesday.
Like, how do you guys operate? Oh my goodness.
not very well.
It's so funny because a while back, I was actually, I mean, there's a part of the reason why I'm Mycelia Dev is because it was a double meaning between like being close to what my real name is and also for a developer, because at the time, I mean, I graduated with like computer science degree, wanting to do game design, and was really into it, and then like actually getting myself to sit down with a project for longer than a little bit, I just couldn't focus on it. So now I'm in QA, which is close, but
Honestly, even though I don't envy your position, a much more sane career path, I feel.
yeah, definitely is the case. Alrighty, for the next question, I'm gonna ask y'all to spill a little tea. Do you have any pet peeves within the gaming community or the game development community? Excuse me.
Oh boy, do we! I think the one that we can agree on is that people are recklessly supportive of each other.
Yeah,
to the
it's
like
dangerous. It's like bordering on evil almost, because you're like holding someone's hand and leading them to the meat grinder, be like, "Jump in, the water's fine. Here, look." And then you push them in, and then they spend like 2 years of their life to make something that bombs because they don't do it properly, and then they're like destroyed.
Yeah, it's sorry. Go ahead.
It's like all the sunshine and rainbows of like, yeah, you can make games, you can do it. Anybody can make a game without any of the like understanding of what really goes into it. It seems like.
Well, I mean, even on that front, it's you can't really understand what goes into it until you do it yourself. But even then, it's
Well, the problem with indies is like most of them have never finished a game, and honestly, most of them will never ship a game. And I'm
Mm.
not saying that from like a judgmental or negative point of view. It's more so like a lot of people just kind of piddle around with it and treat it like a hobby, and like, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to fiddle around and do these sorts of things, and that's a
Mm.
totally different way of approaching it and doing it than someone trying to make it a career. So
Yeah.
have tons of people that quit their day job that are supported by the people around them, and other people in the industry are like, oh yeah, your game idea is great, it'll be good, your art looks good. No, yeah, you should be a solo dev, it'll be fine. And you set them up to ruin their life because
Mhm.
Yeah.
they throw everything away and sacrifice it all on this altar, and there's no way out because you release that game and you bomb the launch, you mess it up, or the visuals weren't good enough, the music wasn't good enough, you're going to get destroyed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's way too competitive now. It's and the fact that people don't talk about that at all, I think is dishonest and cruel
I think
because
it's I think it's something that people are starting to talk about more. Who was it? The guy who made from like the Flash era, but the guy who made the epic Battle Fantasy recently was talking about how things were so different than when, he got much of his career stuff because back then all it took was making a good game, and now
yeah.
there's so much more involved with it.
Yeah, like the
Mhm.
Anton Blast guy was talking about it last week. We've been talking about it for like what, 2 years? Right?
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
Since Curse basically.
because like when we started out, it was a we were learning too and trying to figure out the industry and how it worked and what works, what doesn't, how are people, how are content creators, all that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And now, what drives me up a wall is we have a pretty good amount of you know, knowledge and experience in this at this point, and we'll tell people our genuine perspectives and like this is the data we have. This is how this worked out for us. And they go, "Nuh-uh, no, I watched a YouTube video and it told me this." It's like, okay, great, good, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, you also have a lot of people talking from like uh bigger perspectives, like not from small indie perspectives that are acting like they're smaller indies. I or people raising up non-indie games as like indie titles. Like I think a lot about Dave the Diver during last Game Awards, how it was
Yep.
in the like
Oh,
best
yeah.
indie title segment despite being backed by like a major publisher. Like
I mean, I definitely don't make any friends with this opinion, but I am strongly of the opinion that if you are not self-published, you are not independent. You are not
mhm,
an indie. And this idea that we've created that you can be an indie but have these indie publishers is entirely preposterous. Because let's
mhm,
take the example of Animal Well, right? Even if it was only Dunkey, not his company, that was backing the game, that creates a massive market advantage that game has.
mhm,
And the same thing with like Devolver, the same thing with like let's say Supergiant took something and published it.
mhm.
That game would automatically get a ton of attention, a
Oh
ton of
yeah.
traction, a ton of coverage. Whereas if you're truly an independent, you have to earn that clout. You have to earn that industry respect and notoriety in order to get into those places. And
You're
it's
starting from basically zero
yeah,
Mhm.
as someone who's entirely independent. Yeah. All you have is whatever you're bringing to the table is all you have.
And you're just kind of hoping at that point for some sort of lucky break, some viral clip or something, and it's
Well,
man.
well,
so
that's
what
the other thing actually. That's another kind of pet peeve with it, or
Oh.
just too many people are looking to be the next big thing.
Mm.
I think too many people are expecting to hit it big with whatever their game is, and too many people are spending too much time trying to make their game that next big thing.
Hmm.
yeah, which is
And
not going to be. Statistically, there's no way.
Well, I mean, it could be. They could be that one person. It's
Yeah,
possible,
but
but the
it's like,
majority of them aren't going to be.
well,
And
sure,
that's
but
Mhm.
part of what our strategy has been to
don't
try
tell
and
people our business strategy.
no, I tell everyone our business strategy.
No.
We're making smaller games. More smaller games.
Um, yeah, banking on being the next big thing is akin to, putting in a bet at Las Vegas that you're gonna get hit by a lightning bolt when you walk outside. Like,
Mm.
you're not living within reality at that point. And anyone that is supporting you in that is crazy. Um,
You're taking our strategy, by the
no,
way.
take the strategy of don't
Man,
make games. Save
yeah,
yourself.
don't make games. Just don't make games.
Because here's the thing, right? We're fortunate enough that we're in a position that we have 4 years of developing awareness of really struggling to get to where we are, right? And that is with 3 games under our belt. We're about to do a fourth one pretty quickly, but it's still, even to this day, is fighting tooth and nail to get people to respond to emails, people to give us a shot, people to even bother to redeem our keys. Like, if you look at our data for outreach to content creators, it is gnarly. But at the end of the day, they're the thing that's going to get you in front of more people,
Mm.
and keep the game alive in the public sphere.
I love how transparent you guys have been about a lot of this stuff. Like I remember before you guys launched Veritas, there was a lot of talk about like how your like Steam key giveaway stuff was going. The oh, what was it? The key giver, the little
rat.
rat.
The key
The key
rat.
rat, yeah. Stuff like that, and talking about um how much of an impact, just talking about the statistics of like how much of an impact, how many wish lists you guys were actually getting off of these kinds of things. And I thought it was really interesting because you guys share a very different opinion than like what is like publicly heard, like widespread publicly heard, which is, the like, yeah, anybody can make a video game. Which is just not true.
Well, yeah, because that's that.
Technically anyone can make a video game, but can you make a successful video game company? Can you make a successful catalog of games? Can you make a good game? Can you make a mediocre game even? Because there are tons of games that come out on Steam that aren't even worth the $5 they are to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
There's oh, I lost that train of thought. That train has left the station.
I think,
No, well, I think it's because part of it's because we came into making games with that attitude. We came in very optimistic and we got crushed into the dirt. like seriously. We expected difficulty. We didn't expect the frigid cold indifference that we were met with.
well, even beyond that, it's still like a sheer climb. Like, it's a
Yeah.
steep cliff that you're clawing up with your bare hands.
Oh,
It's crazy. And like, to go back on the viral thing, like the probably the most successful thing we ever did was me talking trash about Breath of the Wild.
oh,
Which
brother.
is so stupid. It's so dumb.
That was
And like, Lou got mad about it, and like, people got mad at him for being mad about it. And then I posted data because it was interesting information for people to learn from. And people are like, see, you did it on purpose. You're just bragging. It's like, what?
You're just looking for you're clout chasing. God.
Man, if we were clout chasing, I have a lot better ideas than that. Heck.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I get a lot of the sentiment because I feel largely not disenfranchised. That's the wrong word. Disillusioned. That's the word I'm looking for. With like new content creators and like people starting out with content creation and bright-eyed bushy-tailed wanting to be the next big streamer. And the reality is 99% of streamers, you are going to be looking at 0 to 1 viewer count for a year, 2 years until you start to build community. And it's that same sort of thing where you're just kind of doing it until and trying to better yourself and learn as much as you can until the next you manage to catch some kind of wave. And
Right,
it's
the thing that's interesting to me about streamers, and I've talked about this before when we I talk a lot about our data, people who redeem keys, people who accept keys, all that sort of stuff. We track everything. We have huge spreadsheets with every single person we've ever talked to. And we track like notes about they were a dick, they were nice, yada yada. They didn't redeem the key, they can die in a fire. We're really nice people, I swear. But the thing that's interesting to me is everyone's so fixated on like, oh my gosh, this guy has 1,000 viewers. It's such a big deal. This is really important. I really need them to stream my game. But, we had a large streamer, I will not name their name, that played our game. And we did not see any substantial sales spike from that streamer. But we would see sales spikes from small streamers ranging from like 8 to 25 viewers, right? That would actually have a substantial difference because generally those types of communities are a little more tightly woven and they're more interested in doing things with each other, sharing experiences, talking about something together. So that motivates them to go try it out themselves. There has been one interesting experience that we had with one larger streamer that streamed Prodigal recently that actually caused a spike. And I think the difference is that he managed to grow in that sincere, tight-knit community kind of way. Whereas a lot of these streamers that rely on becoming hip and popular, they don't have that same genuine community to them. It's just kind of like they're riding this insincere wave that isn't about them and who they are, but like they're the current hot thing, which to me sounds like the most terrifying way to live your life. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Because you're standing on a house of cards waiting on it to fall over.
Yeah, and whenever I see new streamers and stuff pop up or like ask me questions about that, I have to collect myself before they tell them like
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah, because it's like really mentally taxing to put yourself out there in that space like constantly. And for that, it's like too much for some people, but they still try to do it anyways because they're like, oh, I really want to do this, and I'm like, you can try anything else. Like, it's okay to just not.
The thing that I think is sad about it, because obviously it's a way to spend your time, and to me, the thing that's sad about it is a lot of people are investing a lot of time and money, effort and energy into this. And it's something that, because a lot of people are doing VTubing, it's not even associated with they themselves, right? So if the whole thing collapses, they don't really have anything left. They just kind of get left with ash in their hands. Whereas, like, at least if Lou never made another game, he could still send Evan's Escape to people that he hated and make them
I
suffer.
sure can. I sure can do that.
From what he chose to do, spending his time, he was doing something that left something that could share an experience. Whereas I think the thing that's unfortunate about streaming is it's very much a temporary, in the moment type experience that is produced.
I know one of the things that originally got me into streaming in that sense was I worked in audio video, like streaming sort of stuff, like live performances and stuff like that, working soundboard for 4 years while I was at university. And then when I got done with it, I was like, man, that was really fun. I should do that some myself on my own time. Oh, hey, look, there's this streaming stuff that I can do, and started getting into that. and it's helped me a lot sort of better those skills for if I ever wanted to go back into that, which is nice. It's nice for sort of any sort of hobbies or like any, stuff that you're working up as like a partial career, as long as you're gaining some sort of life skills from it or like some sort of enjoyment or something like that, then it's worth it. But if it's ruining your life, you should probably stop. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, they say that about drinking and stuff too, but people still go to the store, so
That's so true. Anyways, let me take another drink.
Yeah, I might have a slightly tilted opinion on it though, because like I remember how old was I? I think I was 24,
Uh-huh.
21 or something. I sincerely was trying to do like the whole YouTuber streamer thing,
Hmm.
and all of that time, all of that effort amounts to nothing now. So it's I look on it a little bit more harshly than I look on the times spent playing and making games, because
Hmm.
at the very least, if I stop doing it, it's still something there, right?
Yeah. I think the big thing that I've gotten from like streaming and stuff on my end, and it's a similar thing to some of what you guys have gotten with game creation and stuff like that, and it's a community, like just a bunch of people to know and talk to and spend time with. A lot of my like closer friends in this day and age, my now IRLs that I like get to see quite a bit of the time, came from me putting myself out there and streaming. So I'm a little bit brighter-eyed in that sense, but it's similar to the community and stuff that you guys have built through Colorgrave.
Sure, and I think the difference
Mhm.
is like built a genuine community, right? Like
Yeah.
you've made a network of friends that enjoy things together. Where,
Mhm.
like, let's use it as an example, some unnamed random big VTuber, like
Mhm.
they're not creating that same sort of experience or that same sort of uh,
Mhm.
genuine social community that I think is sad. I think it's important to have that, whether you're a streamer or not.
Mhm. Big agree. Always important to sort of try and have that as close knit of a community as you can get. It's hard once you get to be bigger because you can only have people know each other, so much. Because a part of like, it's not just like I can know pretty much every name that comes through my stream now. Like
Mm.
I can recognize everybody. But once those numbers start to get like into even the triple digits, let alone like thousands and stuff like that, man, I guarantee you I could not, because like thinking of it as like a room of people, right? Like
Mhm.
20 people in a room watching you play a game or watching you, design backgrounds and stuff like that. And like your guys' case for the streams that you do for Colorgrave, like 20 people in a room is a lot. Like that's a classroom
Yeah.
of people. And-
That's a party,
yeah, but once you get
It's
into like
fun.
the hundreds and stuff like that, like my ass doesn't know that many people. if
You're
I was
like
standing in
doing
a room with 100 people, I wouldn't know what to do.
You're like doing a stand-up routine at that point, like on a stage for a group of people,
Yeah.
Small time gig. Half of the thing has been sold out,
Yeah, it's strange. Numbers are so strange. Ugh.
What do you do for a living? Oh, an electrician, huh? That's interesting. I'm sure I have something funny to say about that.
Oh, stand-up comics. My beloved and beloathed. Anywho's it's. Let's move on to that question. We've been on this for a little bit. Do you play favorites with your characters? And if so, who are your favorites?
Oh, that's tough.
I just want to kill certain people.
I was gonna say, I feel like Min's more inclined to kill the people that he likes the most, rather than keep them going forward. And I don't have any
like intrusive air energy. I just want to destroy and hurt the things I love. Out of my mind. Totally on it.
Oh.
For me, I like a lot of various side characters. Like in Curse Crackers, my favorite character is the Prize Master. I just think she looks cool. Um, that's it. That's my favorite character. I'm that guy. I'm that guy who's part of the One Piece fandom. My character shows up like 2 centimeters tall in the background. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, woo!
I think that my favorite characters haven't appeared yet, so I don't have the bias yet. Like it fits the thing that Lou said, because all of the characters that are like my favorites are the ones that are gonna probably kill a lot of other characters.
All right, you heard it here, folks. All the characters right now are just filler. We haven't gotten to the good stuff yet.
That's right. That's right. This is still just the filler arc, guys. We haven't even.
The filler arc. Oh my gosh.
That's actually not entirely untrue.
Oh my god. Like, what do I have under my belt now? Like 80 hours of filler arc? This is starting to feel like One Piece. Oh, goodness gracious. Have the two of you ever had ideas that were out of reach due to budget or time?
Oh gosh.
Xenocide Clad, you ever heard of that?
What was that?
Xenocide Clad. Like that was the game that I hired Lou on to work.
Yeah.
And like
Oh.
we don't have the time or the budget to finish it. So it's just chilling on the shelf until we can get to it. But like even beyond that, there are tons of plans. We have probably like 12 to 13 game ideas that we have on a sheet that we're, ready to shuffle in and out as we're able, depending on what we can figure out.
Oh, so bunch of stuff sort of ready / on the back burner.
Oh yeah.
We want to be kicking it in your Steam library for a good long time.
But I mean, even besides that, just there's stuff like I'm trying to think. I know like in Prodigal, we wanted to do more with like the dating element and like having different characters in the town interact with each other, but just no time, no budget, no out of reach of our skill levels at the time. And some different stuff for Curse Crackers in terms of like, I think we wanted to do more with the overworld map at one point, but that just kind of didn't work out. All sorts of stuff. Veritas was going to be a whole different game the first half of development, and then we pivoted to make sure that we could finish it within the time that we allotted for it.
Well, no, hang on. To be fair, Veritas was like 5 different games at multiple different
it was a whole different game.
It got remade multiple times. I remade that fucking map multiple times. We went through a lot of iterations, and that's why we have that little Easter egg room in the demo. It was like, oh, look at all these old versions of Veritas in the trench. Really long.
Oh my gosh. I saw that and I was cracking up. I was like, man, this game has been through hell and high water.
That was a rough one.
I think the only one that didn't was Curse.
Curse had some rough parts, but it wasn't as rough as Prodigal and Veritas. For whatever reason, I think because those games are a lot more technical in a way, there was a lot more for us to struggle with. Whereas Curse Crackers is very kind of go with the flow in terms of its design and movement. So it was easier to work around.
That definitely makes sense. I could certainly see that, especially when you get into Veritas, where you guys took, mechanics and stuff that were already there, sort of in Prodigal, and then tried to add more to it. And the more interconnecting pieces you add, the harder it is to sort of get them all to fit together. So
Yep.
I can certainly see that being the case. I'm gonna skip ahead an ounce because this ties into something I was gonna ask a little bit later. What projects do you have cooking on the back burner right now? If there's anything that you can sort of, discuss.
Define back burner.
Mm,
You want to know
something
what's on
is-
the you want to know what's on the grill right now, or do you want to know what's like we're keeping this in the back room for right now? It needs more time. We can't get to it right now. It's in the freezer.
something that comes to mind is oh god, what was it called? The river game.
Howling Crown.
Howling Crown.
Yeah, that's probably either the next game or the game after the next game.
I think it's
Ah.
the game after the next game because I think we still want to do one more in between.
Yeah, I don't like dude. I so don't want to go here. Like, I gotta go right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's still too soon. It's still too soon.
it feels too bad right now. We did some polls a long time ago of like what people would want to see in a game,
Mhm.
and some people may have blown that off as nothing burger, but may or may not be impacting a future project.
Ooh. Super, super exciting. Well, I don't want to get too into, pressuring you guys to talk about stuff you can't talk about. So
I'm a steel trap. You'll never get anything out of me.
Well, we'll just see. However, that's what the alcohol is for. Let's see here. For each of you, is there a particular part of one of your games that you've made so far that you're especially proud of? A mechanic or, a certain animation or drawing, something of the sort?
Dude, Bell's moveset. I remember that it was supposed to be this dinky little Kirby game, and I messaged Lou and was like, Lou, I'm sorry. I took it too far. I need more animations. He was like, no, we're not doing that. It's supposed to be simple. I was like, no, it's too fun. I promise. You have to see. You don't understand yet, but I swear it's good. It's so good.
You have to
And
see
then-
the vision.
And then he showed me. I'm like, you're right. Gosh darn it. I'm really proud of the cutscene stuff and the intro stuff I did for
Oh
Veritas.
yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That
That
stuff
was
is so sick.
That was a big experiment. I don't know that we're gonna do anything quite like that again, at least not anytime soon. But
Never anytime soon.
it was cool. It was
Like-
cool to do.
Like I think the best way that I put it in my head is if you think of all the cutscenes that are in the game,
Mhm.
that's like maybe a dungeon tile set of work time probably.
Yeah.
Because at least, so even like the little small ones, if you want to think of it that way, like theoretically cost a dungeon.
Oh my
Wait,
gosh.
they didn't actually cost a dungeon. It wasn't like we threw out dungeons
Yeah.
because of the.
Yeah. It's more of saying like how could the time have been distributed, right? Because like would I have time to have made and added another dungeon? But
Mm.
when you think of it from that perspective and how we have to operate, it's really important to us to make sure that people feel like they get enough content for what they're paying for and feel like they've ripped us off. Like that was our goal with Curse, our goal with Prodigal. We're hopeful we can get there with Veritas. But the problem with those cutscenes is while they're super cool, they last for a moment and then people forget about it, and no one's considering those content. No one is considering those as like part of the game that they're playing.
Mhm.
So it's an unfortunate little combination there.
Yeah, without, of course, going too much into spoilers, because I know there's some people in chat that haven't played your games yet, which I'm hoping to convince them by the end of today. But the ones that really stick out to me, especially in Veritas, are the opening, because it looks really good, and I'm always a sucker for video game openings. It's like one of my favorite things about the Rune Factory series is every single one of their games has a cute little like full opening cinematic, and one of the games, Rune Factory 5, it has two different opening cinematics. So once you get to a certain part of the story, it actually switches to the second opening whenever you open the game. And like, I just think stuff like that is so freaking cool. So it's so satisfying to open up the game and be met with like something that looks so good like that.
I think there is an exception on openings because I think Lou and I have already talked about this, right? That we're thinking about keeping that,
Mhm.
but the in-game ones are way too much.
Yeah.
Because I think we both think the opening is cool in helping not only set the tone, but also giving kind of a little bit of wow factor. It gives us something that's really solid for using in marketing.
Mhm.
Like our initial marketing of Veritas had nothing because honestly at the time we had nothing, but we had to start marketing the game because we entered the marketing window. So it was like, okay, we're just gonna do the opening cinematic and it's gonna be fine. And you know, that alone carried us for probably like the first month.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean that's all I had to work on too, because I didn't know what we needed for different like player animations and stuff, or
Oh yeah,
areas or whatever.
I was still in hell.
Yeah. So the opening existing is almost more a matter of circumstance lining up with my desires rather than a purposeful like marked strategy on our part.
Mhm. Just like, ooh, man, I really want to try this out.
Yeah, well, I was playing Panzer Paladin, and they have
Oh.
like a really good animated opening and some cool cutscene stuff. And I was like, oh, I want to do this. I want to try doing this.
Was it like you were really something had happened? I think it was like you were really burnt out from something. And I was like, you want to do this, go do it. Like, fine, go. Have fun with
Probably,
it.
I was probably just burnt out from doing all the update stuff for Curse Crackers because we pushed like really hard to get
The Bonnie redo. Oh yeah, we
yeah,
redid that fucking
Oh.
Bonnie thing. I totally forgot we redid it.
we had I think we did that before we went out to PAX. Like we wasn't that what it was? Or
Maybe
was it something else?
we crunched really hard on it for some reason. I just don't
Yeah.
remember why. But that was
Mm.
awful. I forgot how bad that was.
Suppressed traumatic memory.
I think the reason it was so bad is because like we set up a plan of like here's the content we want to add as we go,
Uh-huh.
and the Bonnie thing was the first in that sequence, and the
Mhm.
reaction to it was so negative
Mm.
that we were like, we can't just let it be, so we have to redo it. So we redid it alongside another content update. So we basically had double the workload for that little window.
Mm. Man, that does sound rough. Oh, goodness gracious. Let me see here. We're close to the end of the questions that I've got for you, and then we'll take a quick break. Reorganize myself here.
Final question. When did
Huh?
you get so handsome, Lulupa? Why, thank you for asking.
Yeah, how did you get so handsome?
Well, you see, I once spent as a child several hours slamming my face into a wall. I was left with terrible brain damage, but I got these smashing good looks instead.
Oh, it makes sense. It makes sense. All right, I gotta hear. What? We talked about this sort of a little bit earlier, but what got Color Grave together? Like, where did you guys start, or how did you guys start?
You want to tell it, or you want me to tell it?
I usually tell it, so you tell it this time.
All right. So I had started making games with John,
Mhm.
and I knew John from summer camp when I was a kid. So we had been friends for a while, and I made my first game. We're not going to talk about it. I started working on my second game called Xenocyte Clad, and I had just like this revolving door of artists. It was awful. I had like two of them say, "Hey, no notice. I'm quitting. Good luck, lol." And one of them said, "Good luck, lol. I'm going to go work on my own game." Comes back 2 months later, is like, "Hey, I ran out of money. Can you hire me again so I can fund my game?"
What the hell?
So that was wild. So the game had like art style nonsense everywhere. Like nothing was coherent.
Mhm.
And then I hired Lou, who I was connected to through a friend of mine and his friend. And
Through like pure
Lou,
chance.
pure chance, purely random. And he and I are talking and working on stuff, and he's doing good work, and I like him. And like one night, he messages me, he's like, "I'm coming home from work, and there was a frog." And he's like, it's like midnight, and he sends me a photo of this frog in the dark. I'm like, who is this guy? And a few days later, he goes, "Okay, the art in this game sucks. We're gonna have to redo it all." And I said, "Hey, I like this guy. This is sick. He's real. Like he's honest. This is good." And here we are, a few games later, a lot of pain and suffering later. I still think half the time, who is this guy? What's wrong with him? Because like if you took the two sides of the coin, he is one side and I am the other, because we are total opposites in so many different ways. It cracks us up to this day. But the only thing we have in common is we're both always ready to fight and rip people's heads off. So like sometimes that doesn't go so well because we'll be crunching and we'll just like, "Fine, you want to fight? I'll fight you. I'm gonna kill you. I hate you.
You want to go? Let's go. Let's go. Let's throw down." Oh my gosh. Yeah. It made me laugh because I had only seen so much of the two of you outside of like occasionally having one of you pop into to chat or like talking to you guys in your Discord before only a couple months ago when Min threw up a random like, "Hey, I want to like talk to some more people" tweet. And so I got to talk to Min a little bit more. And where the fuck was I going with this? My my brain is jello right now.
You guys are all terrible, and I hate you. I brought you on this show to humiliate you. Take that.
Take that. No, but it was when I had mentioned to Min that like I do QA testing and stuff, and it's like, yeah, I've helped with other like small indie devs and stuff and done volunteer work. Like I'm more than willing to help with you guys too if you need it. And so Min sat on that for a little bit and messaged me the other day and it's like, "Yeah, you can be a tester for us." And it gave me this like huge warning of, you better be careful though, because we're mean around these parts. And it just made me laugh because all I had seen from both of you is like you're honest, but like for the most part you're pretty nice. And I was like, I'm sure I'll be fine. I've dealt with worse from like industry developers.
You know what? I'm willing to believe that. I've heard there's some pretty nasty characters.
Yeah.
But you also have to remember, we're kind of used to the industry of the indies, and it's pretty hug boxy. It's like, "Oh yeah, well, you're doing great, sweetie. Oh wow, that's amazing. You're the best." And so we're over here being like, "Hey, this art sucks. Hey, this mechanic sucks. Hey, have you thought about not sucking dick at your job?"
This blows. Do it again.
Yeah, we don't have any of that same hesitation at all. So I feel like it's important that we warn people, because the alternative is that we just suddenly dunk on someone who's trying to help us. And they're like, "Why are you being mean to me?"
There's no reason to be. No, I definitely totally get it, and I think it shows in like a lot of your games that you guys are like that, because there's I can tell that there's very definitive decisions with a lot of the stuff that you guys do, and it's due to that kind of communication of being honest and being like, "Hey, we need to not be wishy-washy on this. This fucking sucks. We need to fix it."
Yeah, we have no hesitation on saying like, "Hey, what you did here is bad." And sometimes Lou will say it to me, and I'll be a pissy little baby about it for a good long while. Sometimes I'll say it to Lou, and then he won't talk to me or be helpful in conversation for a little while. Like we're not adults about it at all, but we get over it quickly, so it's fine.
We have to go into our like toddler corners for a little while and like stamp around, and then we can come back a little bit later as reasonable adults and talk about things a little bit more.
Yeah, I've definitely seen like industry devs, and it really depends on where I'm working at, because some it's like you're working a lot closer with the devs. Some the devs are like, or the QA members are like contracted, and it feels weird. I'm not going to name companies because that's I don't want to get attacked, but
You don't want to get blacklisted.
yeah, exactly. But like it can be a really weird energy where sometimes you feel like you can speak your mind and sometimes you can't. But like as a QA tester, I have to be able to speak my mind. Because I have to be able to tell the dev, hey, this is broken, or hey, this sucks.
Well, you can't ever tell us that. We don't want to hear it. Okay, everything we do is perfect. You're an idiot, and QA is for clowns. So
Hey,
That's what the Q stands for, is clown.
yeah, that's how you spell it if you are cultured.
Spelled with a Q also.
wait a second.
Fucking hold on.
Hold on a goddamn minute. All right. On that note, I think we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get into some viewer questions. I have to get myself another drink, so we'll take 5. Get some water, get some drinky, get some bathroom, whatever you need. I'll be back. Welcome back, chat. Oh, that was the wrong one. Hold on. I clicked the wrong thing. I swear I'm not
Yeah,
white girl
right.
wasted. I've only had one cider.
Dude, my
What's the deal with airline food?
Off to an awesome start to the second half.
my alcohol tolerance is totally screwed after doing that whole year of no alcohol at all.
That'll do
I
it.
get pretty drunk pretty quick.
I still have about a third of that first can, so I'm just taking my time, enjoying myself here.
Just sipping.
Mm-hmm.
Drink like a coward, Lou.
I sure do. I was bullied by one of the guys from Yacht Club Games about it.
Oh,
And
really?
me and John went and had lunch with one of the people who work for that company,
Mhm.
and both of them bullied me for my slow beer sip.
Whatever pace you're comfortable with.
John's a legend. Like, he cracks me up. He's a weird dude.
I love him.
I always hear about this mysterious John.
He is mysterious. He's elusive, but he's a good dude.
All right. Without further ado, let me get this crack.
Oh,
Good
baby.
shit. Crisp.
I'm a jealous
Crisp.
wreck.
Like the apples inside.
True cosmic crisp. Oh. I'm gonna preface this segment by mentioning that there were a couple lore-esque / spoiler-esque questions that I ended up cutting just in case for
you
people
can-
who are coming in new.
You can ask him and we can like choose to not answer. Like, I don't care.
I'm curious. I'm curious to know what people are asking in the questions, if nothing
man.
else. You know.
I'm curious too. I'm like a dumb little monkey. Someone gives me an idea that something's there, and I just got to keep beating on the wall until I find the magic.
It'll be like, and here's the questions we won't be answering.
Cool. So I do have those. I have them off to the side. So we'll hit the stuff first, and then I guess we could do like a little spoiler segment before
right.
we finish.
Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Lou loves leaking things. He's infamous for it. Everyone knows no one leaks more than Lou.
It's so funny just chilling in your streams, Lou, because I'll be sitting there and like people in chat will just like start to barrage you with questions about like does this mean anything? Does this mean anything? And you're just like, I don't know.
Like a puppet master, they dance to my strings.
Bro just blew out my eardrums. I think
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Normally I have you at like 100. I think the other day you were reclining or something, so I had to turn you up. I just paid the price. Is what it is.
Alrighty, let's get started here. The first question is from Great-ish Librarian (Rose), and they say, I want to buy either Prodigal or Curse Crackers. Which is better experienced first, in your opinion?
Prodigal sets up a lot of stuff for all of our games going forward, especially if you engage with a lot of the post-game stuff. But it can be a little slow to get into. So if you want something that's faster paced and easier to just pick up and go with, Curse Crackers is also fine. Both of them are close enough to the start that you're not going to feel too lost going into one or the other, I think.
I think you start with Curse Crackers and you make yourself a nice cold glass of Curse Cracker.
No!
That's
Asking
the
you
best
guys to
way.
make a drink was a mistake. Oh, goodness gracious. So
What do you mean? Hey, don't you be talking back to me, you fools. You don't know. You don't appreciate my artistry, okay?
yeah, all right. Let me see you drink it.
You get a tall glass, and you put a package of um the peanut butter cheese crackers in there, and then you pour in the orange juice, and then you pour in the mint. What was it? What did you say? Mint vodka?
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. You have it. You have it right there for you. And then when you're done with the liquid, you have some like soggy solids that you get to enjoy afterwards. It's great. Little protein in there.
That sounds so good. Like nothing is more fun to me than a drink with a little something to chew on.
Yeah.
It's just a little bonus texture. It's great. Why
I
y'all
get
being
orange
weird? Like,
get
what's wrong
orange
with you?
juice with the pulp, and I strain the juice so I can just eat the pulp.
Oh yeah, dude, I need to try that.
All right, for hopefully a change of pace here. We have a question from I love my wife Iofi.
Okay.
Who asks, when will we be able to romance the monster girls?
Probably never.
Yeah, probably never.
Oh.
That's the sad answer. There was a potential for that to have happened very early on in development. In fact, is it Olney, right? That's the character.
Only
Olney
one
was
of
going to be the romanceable monster character. There's actually concept art of her wedding dress, and I don't think I started the pixel of it, but the concept art exists.
I'm throwing my hands up in the air and crying right now.
It didn't make sense with the lore, so
Nook, I have to go back in time. I need to change the future.
briefly we talked about doing something that was like I don't want to say harem, but like you would get closer to them and learn more about them kind of deal.
mhm.
So it's kind of serving the same purpose that the marriages served in
Mhm.
Prodigal, but in a different way for the monsters. But we ended up just, not doing it. And by the end of Prodigal, we were so sick of the dating stuff and the way that people talked about it and interacted with it that now we're kind of the mind where it's hard for us to even get to where we want to do that again.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Man, I'm sorry. I love my wife, Iofi. You're shit out of luck.
She is a fun character. I like the Fae. I like the way they talk.
Me
It's really
too.
amusing to me.
Next question. How this one is from Evolve Pikachu already. Yeah, you. How much of what you originally have planned makes it into the game release, and how much of it gets scrapped on average? We know we talked about this briefly before.
More than 100% because we keep remaking the damn game.
I want to say probably about like half at least makes it in. All the important parts make it in. We usually start out determining what the core of the game is, even if we don't initially like know what it is. By playing around, we'll kind of figure it out, and then that's what we focus in on, and develop around. So the extra stuff even often gets cut out because of that focusing in on what we want to focus in on.
That makes a lot of sense.
We're not shy at all about cutting things. We cut a lot of stuff, and we're pretty brutal about it. As you've heard before, we're not shy about being like, this sucks. I hate this, and
it's crazy to think that that much ends up getting cut, but like also you look at something like Prodigal or Curse Crackers, And one of my favorite parts about both of those games is just how much game is in those games. And of course that's
Sometimes.
after a couple updates too, but like even still, it's just
Sometimes we do go back in with the updates and add some of the stuff that we wanted to have in with initial release that we just like didn't have time for, or it wasn't in a good state, or we didn't know where to put it, or whatever. So that's also an element to it, is sometimes that stuff does make it back into the game after a little while.
Is there any sort of a example you could give of that from games you've released already?
Prodigal's a big one. With initial release, part of it was because we were still it was our first game. But with initial release, we had a lot of stuff, a lot of like scenes that we wanted to have put in, a lot of character growth that we wanted in for like side scenes and stuff. It just wasn't in the game. And it was fine, you could get through it, but it didn't tell the complete story that we wanted to tell initially. And so we made an update, and we made a few more updates. And now I think it's kind of bursting at the seams, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Unless you're that one MF that Min was talking about the other day that was complaining about the game having too much in it.
Oh yeah, that was what a bizarre like feeling to have about a game.
Yeah.
What's with all this gameplay? This should have been DLC.
Like what? What do you mean? It was DLC. It was just free DLC.
What's weird to me is like a lot of people came at me on that tweet about how, oh, well, you do checkboxes and completionism, so you invite people to have that attitude. It's like, well, I would understand that argument if they weren't talking about the super hidden dungeon that has no tells anywhere that you can find it or do it. It has no special specific items that makes you feel like you haven't completed the game. The only way you know about it is by looking it up on a wiki. So,
or just,
yourself.
happening upon it.
You don't even get an achievement for it or anything, right?
No, you get nothing.
It's as bonus can be.
You just get a cool boss fight. Like that's the reward.
And puzzles.
I don't even think I said anything specific though in the news post. Didn't I just say like you can seek enlightenment or something stupid? Like I said something super vague.
Yeah, it was super super vague, cuz I know when you guys dropped that was soon after I had like beaten Base Prodigal. Like I had just beaten it and was getting into the post game when you guys dropped the Enlightenment update. And I saw that and I was like, oh boy, more content.
Local developers literally can't stop themselves.
I think to the point that you like corrupted your data files.
Yes, I corrupted the project files for Prodigal, so I in fact cannot ever touch it again.
Oh my god!
I can't ever patch it again. Like someone found the way to do the Caroline time skip thing that was been a problem forever. I can't go fix it because I corrupted all the files, so I couldn't touch it again.
No! I remember I was really sad about the Caroline time skip stuff because I hit the the glitch where like the post game ending didn't work for me for the Caroline marriage, and I was so sad because I was like, that's it? That's all that happens? Where did my wife go? Where is she?
Where is she?
Where is she? And I think it was I think it was Visions was in my chat and was like, I think I'm pretty sure this is a bug. I'm pretty sure you can like you can look up what the actual ending is if you really want to see it. And I was like, I do. And I was really grumpy and I looked it up and I was like, okay, I feel better now.
Vision is amazing. I love Vision. And the best part about Vision is like they're so overly eager to help that
Mhm.
like some people get annoyed. And I remember one time Vision said one thing, like one thing to help this streamer, they instantly banned him. Like, oh my gosh. Like you gotta chill on that one. Mamma mia.
I can understand it because like I also really don't like backseating. It is one of my biggest like streamer to chat pet peeves because I want to figure out the things on my own. 'Cause I think that's a really big part of games, and it's a big part of how I like review games too. Is if the game doesn't teach me how to do the thing like naturally, then it's bad. Like that's bad design.
Oh.
I think part of why our community gets so stressed about it
Mhm.
is I'm perfectly content with people missing content or not realizing how to do something. Like as long as they can get from the start to the finish, I don't give a shit.
Mhm.
So our community will watch someone play and they're gonna miss something. They're like, oh, I'm getting anxiety. No, please don't miss this. No, I really want you to see this. Oh, it's gonna make the game worse.
Which
So they
I
so like,
totally
I'm almost baiting them and cheating them into it, where they like have to backseat. I'm just being manipulative and toxic. I can't help it.
I definitely get that. Which I like that. I very much liked that about Prodigal and Curse Crackers, like going around, like forcing myself to look around. It was like Easter egg hunting. Like just every corner could have another little bit of info or an item or an NPC that I haven't seen yet, which I really liked. And that lets everybody have a very different experience playing through the game sort of naturally, which I like. So when people come in and it's like, "Oh, but have you gone to this place yet?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't, but now I'm going to. God damn it."
Yeah.
But at the same point, I know Visions when I was playing and they were in my chat, they like dropped a couple helpful things when they first got in, and I was very nice about it. I was like, "Hey, I prefer no backseating. Like, you can laugh at me, you can say whatever, but please don't spoil stuff about the game." And then they were super cool about it for the rest of the time, which I appreciated. As long as people understand after I warn them like the first or maybe second time to not, I'm totally okay with it. Because I get it. Like, especially when it's a game that you really like, you want to make sure that, streamer is having a good time and enjoying it. But people can get a lot.
Yeah. No, I understand. I understand being on both sides of that.
Nah, let the streamers suffer. They deserve it. they chose to stream. Okay, this is what they get.
I
They
remember
get to look stupid in front of everyone. Embarrass their whole family.
I remember getting a DM from Min like the day after I played through Veritas, and Min was like, "You killed Zagel, Mao." It's like, okay, hold on, because I was stuck on a puzzle and I kept throwing Zagel into the water. And I was like, all right, okay, Min, whatever. Fuck you.
Hey, look, you did it, not me. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to rub it in my face.
You don't have to do it either. So
Oh, goodness gracious. Cool. Let's move on to the next one. Are there any other game genres you would like to try making that you haven't yet? And this is from Anonymous.
All sorts. We'd like to do an RPG. We'd like to do like an RTS style game. We'd like to do like a beat 'em up. We'd like to do.
I mean, we are. I wouldn't count things that we have a plan for.
We'd like to do. I'd like to do something that's like a visual novel at some point.
You just
We've
piqued
got-
my interest.
Just like all genres, I think are kind of.
Nothing is safe from us. We're going
Right.
to war with everyone, and we're gonna make better games than you do. You fucking losers.
I'd still really like to do a puzzle game at some point because Claire a la mode was going to be a puzzle game, but we were having trouble with that, so we're like, okay, we're just gonna do this instead. Um,
No, we weren't having trouble with it. That is not what happened.
we're having trouble with agreeing on what it should be and how it
No.
should work and
No,
having fun with it. And
that is not what happened. Like,
Fight,
we're not
fight,
going to talk
fight,
about
fight,
it, but
fight.
don't say, like, bullshit. That's not what happened.
that's how I felt about it. I don't know.
You were... Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta go grab some popcorn. You guys keep arguing.
Oh yeah, a shooter. A shooter is one that we've talked about doing. A kart racer. We'd like to do like a board game, mini game, like Mario Party, Dokapon Kingdom kind of thing. We'd like
Dokapon
to.
Kingdom.
Dokapon Kingdom would be funny.
Like I don't know. We'd love to do all these different games. We still want to do a Metroidvania at some point. I think the only one that we're not super into is like a roguelike. Because I'm not, because a lot of our stuff is more like story focused. It's kind of hard to tell a story with a roguelike game.
Yeah, it's
And-
definitely harder, especially with how your guys' storytelling is sort of structured. I can definitely see it being hard to fit in.
And a kart racer and party game would probably not be like part of whatever overarching canon that we're trying to tell. Maybe it would, but probably not. You never know. You never know.
Could be.
We've got a lot of things. It's really just whatever we feel like sounds like fun, whatever we want to put the time into, and those are it, really.
Whatever sounds fun at the time, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's awesome to hear that you guys have, so much that you want to do. I'm excited to see what ends up happening.
Yeah, we'll see.
I know you guys mentioned beat 'em up, and the way my neurons activated was was unholy. Me and my buddy Smickle and Smoot have sat there in a call and talked about like a color grave fighting game, because we're really into fighting games. Right now we're on like a Grand Blue Rising kick, and usually we play like a lot of Guilty Gear. And so we were sitting there talking about like Orin and Bell and like River and giving them all like full 2D fighter sets. So hearing beat 'em up, I was just like, oh.
Lou did art for a beat 'em up game that looked sick, so that might be something that ends up on our radar one day. But
I don't even remember which art that was.
you were working for some guy, and he was like,
Oh,
not
that one.
responsive
Was
or
it
something.
it was the fighting game one, I think.
Yes, that's why it was fighting
Yeah.
game art. That was what I said.
Yeah.
Well, you did
I
say
thought
beat
you
'em
said-
up art.
Yeah.
I did. I thought it was a fighting game.
Yeah, you did.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Yeah.
Any
No,
gaslighting?
That one was it was more that it was just it was too much work for too little money, and I did not want to keep dealing with it. So
And here you are. Too much work, too little money. Let's
Oh.
go.
there's a little more passion here as well.
Oh, these devs are all about the money. You heard it here first, folks.
That's why
right.
our next game's gonna be a gotcha game.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Oh my god.
I hope you're ready. It's a gotcha game, but there's only one character that you can get.
Yo, think how much money we could save.
I hope it's Bell. I'm throwing it all down to pull Bell.
Yeah, well, that's the trick, right? The character is super rare, and you just get all the other stuff. So you throw it in to try and get the character, so that you can actually play the game, and then the rest of it is you're just getting all these items and stuff.
No, no, don't send me back into the Hoyoverse mines. No.
You get like Warcraft gray items, so you can sell them back to get a little bit of currency, but you never quite get enough. Get another pull, so you have to buy just a little bit more, and then you can make another pull. Oh, we're not messing with your mind. No, it's fine. This is a reasonable, healthy way to behave and treat people. It's okay.
Alrighty. Moving on to the next question. Are there any familiar faces in Claire a la mode that we can expect? And that is from Anon.
Yes, a lot. So many of them.
I know I've definitely already seen little sprites for Bonnie and of course Claire.
That's right. And there's been a few other ones that I've so we have Ruji, who is a member of our community and who we bring on for work occasionally. Does some pretty good pixel art work. And the past couple weeks he's been working on translating the characters that are in Curse Crackers into the style for Claire a la mode. Now, not all of them are going to necessarily be in, but we've got them. They're there.
They're there.
This man's got my name in his mouth.
That's right, I do.
Very, very excited to see. All right, this one is from Anonymous FGC Girl Fail. What's been your favorite unintended mechanic that players have discovered in your games?
I'm a pull.
What was that?
Probably.
The Chima Pult? Yeah, that's pretty good. I feel like the charge storage is pretty good too.
I don't think that was unintentional though, was it?
Initially it was.
Okay.
So in Curse Crackers, that you can run, and if you throw chime diagonally while jumping at the same time, like diagonally down on the ground, you'll get like a huge jump, a huge bounce off of him diagonally, and we call it the Chima Pult. And in Prodigal, and then we made sure it worked in Veritas, you can store up a charge with like your main weapon, and it also applies to your sub weapons, so you can like switch buttons.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with Chima Pult. I'm gonna have to go back and make some of my times better. I'm pretty intimately familiar with charge holding in Prodigal and Veritas though. It's very neat, and like enough that I definitely thought in Prodigal that it was an intended mechanic.
It was one that we kept in intentionally. I think it was discovered during like testing part of it, and then was like, oh, that's cool. And so we kept it in.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
That's right. Our games have no bugs.
True.
Only features.
I mean, we're pretty comfortable with that. You know? If something is cool and it's like a bug, I'll find a way to clean it up, because that was part of it too. It was like the 2 tile skipping with the fist. I thought that was cool, like lining that up and being able to do it. So we made it more. We had tweaked it to make it more reliable, rather than I think it was. Well, it wasn't. It was like a frame perfect and almost pixel perfect or something. There was some sort of weirdness to it that made it really difficult for anyone that wasn't running at a certain frame rate to achieve for some reason. So we're pretty comfortable with. Oh, this is a cool mechanic. We're gonna keep this and make it intentional.
Hell yeah.
I try and build things like I don't know if it's like how I code or how I design or what, but I try and think of things as little different blocks,
Hmm.
and I'm throwing those Lego blocks into a sand pit and saying, "Here you go, have fun." You know, there's some directional stuff in here that's intentional, but for the most part, you know, have
Mm.
fun, bye kids, and I think that kind of lends itself to people discovering and finding weird combinations that are cool.
Yeah, I mean, definitely in Prodigal, that was one of my favorite parts. And that same from before that I mentioned, Smickle, he was the one who turned me on to Prodigal and Curse Crackers. And he watched me play through Prodigal and kept calling me a creature for how I was playing the game because I figured out like like hitting stuff from the side of it and just like some of that sort of stuff early on, and so I just started playing through the whole game like that as as intended features. And so when I got to, and this is a bit into spoiler territory, but when I got to like late game stuff, and I looked at a puzzle. And I looked at it because I always tried to solve stuff like naturally, at least in my head, and see like what you guys intended, and then do it however I wanted. And I looked at some of the stuff and I went, huh, I have to actually use these things now. Like that's part of the puzzle now, which made me think really outside of the box. And I thought that was awesome. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
that's all Min. That's his that's his forte there.
Grabbing chests through walls. Yeah, that's also one of my favorite features.
yeah, we fixed that one for Baroness. Sorry, he had to do it too, but
I was so sad. Oh my god. It made me laugh because I do randomizers like archipelagos of Prodigal like decently often, and it's my favorite thing to show off some of that stuff when I'm getting my checks because I'm like, oh, this is like out of like this is out of logic, and I like go up to a chest and I grab it from the other side of the wall without the item that I need, and people are like, "Whoa, what? Like, what the heck are you doing? What? That works?" And I definitely went to do that a couple times in Veritas, and there is only one thing that I found that I could do, and it was there's a certain heart crystal that I can get from the other side of the wall with spin attacks and
Ooh,
that earth charge attacks, and that one made me happy.
that's cool. That's cool.
I'm always looking. I see it on the other side of the wall, and I'm like, I'm so close. I can taste it. Oh, hell yeah. Let's move on to next one. Do you guys usually program and then make art, or do you art and then program? What does that sort of process look like between the two of you? And that is from Kyrie.
same time for all of it, basically.
For a lot of it, yeah, it's just kind of a mishmash. A lot. It really depends on the project too. Sometimes Min will outline a design for something for me to do, and then I'll animate it, and it'll be like, oh, okay, hold on, and then he'll change things because of how it was animated. There have been times where there's been a lot of times where I'll animate something and it's like, hey, this does not work with how this is supposed to work. And I'll have to go back and fix it.
I mean, there have also been times where the inverse happens, where I'm like, "This is too cool. You suck. I'm having to redo this because I want to use this. I hate you." So
Yeah.
like, it's not like you're just the victim of me. Like, oh,
Oh no, I was saying that it was my mistake, not that it was It was you causing problems. We're doing things a little differently with Claire a la mode.
Mhm.
So there's a little bit more Min setting stuff up, and then we're going to make things to fit alongside it,
Mhm.
or try to, and things might change, from there. But we're trying a lot of different stuff with this one in terms of our development process to try and
Mhm.
make it a little easier on ourselves.
Hell yeah. I know earlier you guys mentioned the bell like movement mechanics and animations, so that immediately came to mind with this question.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think, I think that sort of bouncing off of each other works out a lot in the end, because that's like probably one of my favorite parts about Chris Crackers is how Belle moves and looks as she moves. It is very well done.
Yeah, I think with Curse, Lou made the initial animations, and then I went and made the controller, and I was bored with the controller, so I just started fiddling with it and adding a bunch of stuff and trying a bunch of stuff, and
Mm.
then we had that discussion that we talked about. So, like there have been a lot of instances where like Lou makes something that's way cooler than what I wanted to do, and then I go redo it, or like I tell Lou, sorry, that won't work. We'll do something else. We do a lot of adaptation and bouncing around off of each other, and I think that that's part of what allows us to be what we are.
Mm.
Yeah.
As sort of flexible as you guys are.
Yeah. It's
Hell
our
yeah.
superpower. It makes us special. Friendship.
Yippee! We have our last sort of vetted user question here, or not user, viewer question. What are your favorite little guys in media? And that is from Anonymous.
What does
Favorite
that mean?
little guys.
Little guys, like I don't know, what's a little guy in media? Like Pikmin? Those are little guys. Just like little
I do like
guys.
Pikmin.
Just like little dudes.
I do
Guys
like
have any-
Pikmin. I like that for the Olympics, Lady Gaga dressed up like a Pikmin.
It's true.
Hmm. Oh, that's tough. Um, here's I don't know if this counts, but I really like the Rankin and Bass Hobbit. That those little guys, all the hobbits and the dwarves and that. That's like that's a weird pull. I know that that's not like no one else is like, oh yeah, I love that.
I mean, those are little guys. Those are good little guys. That's awesome.
I honestly cannot think of anything.
Not a single like pet or something. Not even Chime. Chime is a little guy.
I mean, like Zagel.
Zagel's not really a little guy though, is he?
He's a little
He's
guy. He's short.
a kind of a little guy. Yeah.
I mean, I do love Zagel. Zagel's my boy.
Your pride
in
and
the words of a good friend, Zagel the bagel.
Favorite little
Snarks. Wait, aren't they the Snorks? I thought it was the Snorks. If we're talking about the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Vivian? Is Vivian a little guy? I guess so.
Vivian's a little girl. What do you mean?
It's a little guy.
I mean, guy gender neutral.
Dude, Glaus. Glaus is my favorite little guy.
Yeah.
Let's go, basket, baby.
Big little guy.
Just a big little guy.
He's little on my screen. Don't talk back to me.
Yeah, if I shrink my window size to the small as it can be, then he's a little guy.
Anyone can be a little guy if you're far enough away.
True. Cool. Do you want to get to some of those other questions?
Spicy
You guys
time.
were
Let's go.
curious
The
about
spoil questions. Yeah,
spoil questions. No,
spoil questions.
we'll
I
go
hope you
through
guys are
this.
ready. I hope you guys are ready to know everything about the games, or to get absolutely none of the questions answered. One or
We'll
the
see.
other.
We'll see. For those of you who are looking to play the games, I'll probably type something in chat if you want to like mute the stream or put it to the side or do what you need to do. But let's get into some of these. Let me re-look through this list and find.
Used to
Here we
Dev's
go.
not answering questions as a Hollow Knight fan.
uh, Here's a good one.
I mean, I bet
Actually,
you're used to Dev's not releasing games either. Then
for Veritas, what are the hollowed ore and excuse me, this question is written in a way. Are the hollowed ore and the drowned ore the same material?
no.
No, I don't. Yeah, I was just saying, I didn't think so.
Ground ore is catacite
Ah.
because it talks about rust. It's the same thing the knuckle was made out of.
Yeah.
Makes a
Come on,
lot
man.
of sense.
Pay attention.
Pay attention to my
Golly.
game. Why don't you know?
I thought you care about lore. You're asking spoiler questions. Get out of here. Go retake the test. Do your homework.
This one's about Prodigal. What happened in the area in and around Van's Point in the past? Lots of ancient ruins laying around.
I mean, there was a whole like worldwide war between the gods and various races that went on for a while. It's gonna leave some chunks of buildings and stuff buried, you know?
And if you think about the position in some of the lore in Veritas, it talks about a very specific war between that was probably particularly brutal between two of the gods in the north. So there had to be a place that served as a storm front to that.
This one is about Howling Crown. When will this fit into the timeline? Where does this go?
It's going to be between Prodigal and Veritas.
And I forgot where it was compared to Curse.
I think it's after
I think it
Curse.
was after, right?
Yeah. So
Interesting.
these are lightweight questions. Come on.
Let me see here.
Thought these were spoilers. Come on. All this stuff is in lore. Y'all ain't paying attention.
It's all just people not paying attention. See, that's why I ended up cutting them. I looked at some of these and I was like, well, play the game. Let's see here. I swear to God, I had at least one or two more of these. What is it?
Who killed Dumbledore?
Oh, this one I just happened to miss, and this is actually I guess I'll get back to that after, because this is definitely one of the other questions that I was supposed to read and I definitely didn't. So I'll get back to that one.
Oh boy.
Ma, Lou's being weird again.
No, this is my normal voice.
Ma!
I think everything else that's left that's out we've covered in we've already sort of covered it in like a non-spoiler way, or while we were talking about other stuff. So actually there isn't much else.
Oh, okay.
Not as crazy as it was.
We got a lot of people asking questions in the chat. Should we answer some of those?
Yeah, I guess we could do a few of those if everybody has like spoiler-esque questions or like other questions. Or we could drop the spoiler tag. Either or.
Do whatever you want, man.
Spoilers only. Do not enter.
Even Lou is surprised. Crown is after Curse. Thought it was before.
Pretty sure.
Cool. I think I think
check.
on this note we'll drop. I'll put
Here be spoilers. Arr.
here don't be spoilers.
Here do be spoilers.
Oh, wait.
Who's Belle's father? It's David Bowie.
David Bowie.
David Bowie.
I'm trying to think of the baby song from the Labyrinth, but it's escaping me.
All I can think of is the. It's like there's a spaceman.
Valley Crown happens before Curse.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, never believe a dev when they're drunk.
Drunk? I've only had one drink. No, the reality is I don't really know what the timeline is except for the very vague kind of way. Min's more the lore keeper, and I'm just the one who goes, well, wait, hold on, this won't work because of this and this and this.
Mm.
And then we have to fight about it for a little bit.
I mean, no, your main reprisal on things is like, that's dumb. I don't like that.
I do that a lot too.
Because we're both catching inconsistencies and shit. You catch some stuff that I'm like, because I get into positions where it's like, this idea is so cool. I want to do this. I don't care if it works. It's so cool. How can we make it work? And Lou's like, we can't make that work. Stop. I'm like, no, but it's cool. Please stop. Peace.
I totally get that. I have to catch myself all the time because I run like a bunch of tabletop game stuff. And when I'm making like homebrew or like making my own stories and stuff like that, I have to like double check myself. And if I accidentally make an inconsistency, I'm like, oh, how do I solve this? How do I fix this? Oh, shit, I've already said it. Now the players know. There's the beauty of the veil, that like anything behind the veil you are free to like work on and change at any point, and the players or you know, viewers don't know. But then as soon as you say anything, it is now part of the canon, and you have to deal with that.
We definitely do have arguments over how much to keep behind the veil and how much to like talk about. We definitely do.
What's the biggest one? What's like the biggest, like, I guess we can't talk about it because then we would know.
Well, an easy one is world map stuff for a long time.
Oh yeah, because I wanted to do it.
You wanted to have a really concrete world map really early on, and I was like, we don't have enough like information for things. That's too much. Let's hold our horses on that. So he sent me like an old map that he had drawn up before, and we kind of used that as a rough baseline for there's like a map in one of the rooms in Prodigal. Or like, okay, this is like vague enough that we can do something with it. There's no locations on the map. We don't have to worry about what's there. So,
and it's enough that you can know like if a character needs to say like north, south, east. Like I know there's a lot of like north and south in Prodigal that they talk about. So it's enough that you can know that sort of stuff without like making anything concrete.
Right.
What do you mean, when are we getting Chime Lore? You already have Chime Lore. You don't know what Chime is? I'm disappointed. Do your homework.
Do your homework.
I'll expect your essay Monday.
Yeah, 5 pages on my desk. Chop chop.
This isn't even the AP course. Come on, you should get this.
That question that I realized that I had missed was what character parentheses S characters would you like to see more fan art of? Totally not taking notes for later.
Honestly, just any of them. I love seeing fan art of our characters. Just it's cool to know who people really like. Um,
Other than Oakley.
uh, I mean, it's no, it's cool to see what people like because that also kind of influences what we do. You
Other
know,
than
we,
Oakley.
huh?
Other than Oakley.
Oakley's gonna show up again.
He's such an Oakley hater.
There's you know, we have the major beats of the overarching story already, you know, kind of in place, but what characters might participate in them are not, you know, there's some wiggle room. So
Yeah.
knowing who people like
Helps a
influences
lot
us.
with that sort of stuff. Yeah, I know that stuff really pays off too, because or like making those adjustments to fit what people like really ends up paying off. I know when I saw Caroline in Curse, I flipped my whole shit. I was like, yeah, baby, we're so back. Let's go. So stuff like that goes really far. Like any sort of little cameos or even just like talk of another character, hinting at another character is just like neuron activation.
And that's part of why we did what we are doing of combining all the different games into the same world and the same overall narrative is because then even if you know it's not your normal type of game, you're getting engagement with characters and storylines in areas that you knew and had all these experiences with, so you can still develop some sort of attachment and some openness to try something you may not have otherwise. And I think it's cool to drive people to try new types of games. And
I know the Smickle, the guy who got me into Prodigal and Chris Crackers, he isn't like a huge fan of platformers, but Curse Crackers just being like one of your guys' games, and you know, a game that he realized had connections to the same sort of world as Prodigal. He probably would have never tried it if not for those sort of connections in the first place. So just like stuff like that is really cool for getting people to try new things, which I'm always an advocate for. I'm a very big like don't knock it till you try it kind of person. So
yeah, it's important to broaden your gaming horizons. Get a bunch of experiences, try new things, even if it's garbage. You learn something from it. Unless it's a gotcha game, you gain nothing. You're just, suffering.
Don't remind me.
So anyway, I hope you are ready for our abstract art piece game where you wander around a white room for a while. It'll be first person, and if you click, you'll see like a negative image of your surroundings for a moment, and the dialogue is speech bubbles. So I hope you're ready for a lot of like flashing screens as you keep clicking to try and read this text. That'll be a good experience, I think.
Sounds like an awesome idea. That actually almost reminds me of a game. I can't remember the name of it, but the whole point of it is you play it with a webcam, and that's like your only controller is a webcam. It's like a webcam and a mouse, and the scene starts playing, and until like it will go to the next scene when you blink.
Oh
So you sit there and you keep your eyes open for as long as you can to make sure you can sort of absorb everything that's going on in the scene, and then eventually like you have to blink and it goes to the next thing, and it's a really cool like artistic piece, but also like owie uchi my eyes.
That's the one where you're like basically going through the moments of somebody's life.
Yeah.
That I've seen bits and pieces of that. That seems like a really cool.
And damaging all your ocular nerves.
Yeah.
I
Look,
definitely
you know what? Better to give them an experience that they'll remember forever because it's the last thing that they saw.
True.
Finally, giving gamers what they deserve. Blindness.
You heard it here, folks. Stop playing games. Oh, goodness gracious.
It's okay, you can play our games. Those are the only ones you need.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we're making a game of every style, is so like you won't have to look at other bad devs because they all suck. Let's be honest. So no,
that's
we're
right.
on it. We're just here to save you from all the garbage.
Yeah, for sure.
That masterpiece game from your childhood, trash. Play our games instead.
No. Games from the golden age were good. We're not in the golden age anymore. We're in the garbage age.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yar's
dude.
Revenge for the Atari.
Off topic. I guess on this particular topic, I watched through Gamescom, the like Gamescom opening night live or whatever, and the amount of AAA slop that was in that that
Delicious.
show. Oh god. There was like 1 or 2 games that I was like actually saw and I was like, oh, I'm excited for that. That looks cool. Everything else was just I don't understand AAA games anymore. It's so hard for me to look at them and understand what the draw is supposed to be.
They're trying to hit as wide a market as they can because development costs so much money. I mean, that's really they're trying to make as much money as they can on as wide a market with a product that costs, millions of dollars to make.
Yeah. It's like I understand that's like the brass tacks of it is like in the end they are a company and they are trying to make money. It just makes me sad because AAA companies just end up being controlled by their shareholders, and their shareholders don't understand how a video game works. They just want money, and it just makes for bad video games. And the 18th Call of Duty in a row where it plays the exact same.
I'd argue that they understand how video games work as a business very well.
Yeah, you know what? That's true.
It's the as a method of creative storytelling or experience making that they don't understand or care for.
It's just so unfortunate. But at least I have Monster Hunter to look forward to. Let's go Monster Hunter.
AAA slop.
No, it's not AAA slop, I swear. It's different. I love Monster Hunter.
They just released the same game over and over and over again. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to play.
This time it'll be different.
This time it'll be different.
It's not Monster Hunter is different, I swear. It's
just like nominally different and nominally better. It's fine. I love it. I'm glad I paid for it again.
I'll be happy to pay for it again. I love the video game.
I can't wait to fight the same monsters that were all in the last game.
Oh my gosh! It's my favorite monster from my last game. It's in this game too. Oh, I can't wait to kill it again. Oh,
I love Rathalos. Yeah, baby. Woo! I can't wait to kill it again. Let's go.
We're so toxic. Shit. Dude,
It's okay. I said at the start, you guys are free to speak your mind and say whatever.
Lou, what's something that you like?
What's something that I like? I like Star Fox 64. I don't know if that counts.
No. Golden Age doesn't count. We have to like something current. What's something that you like that's current?
How current? Give me a year range.
Last 6 years.
Last 6 years. I really liked Receiver 2. If you played
what is-
that.
What is that? I've never heard of it.
It's a really interesting first-person shooter game
Mhm.
where various buttons on your keyboard control different aspects of like the gun. So like you can control the slide and you can put the safety on and you have to like load the bullets manually. It's a very interesting experience. I really enjoy it. So that's one for me. I'm glad that there's one person in the chat who actually also knows what that is. So it's not just me putting out this random game.
I'm looking looking at Plank's I think Plank's message. Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door released 3 months ago. Plank, that game released like several years ago for the first time. It's just a remake.
Paper Mario.
Plank, wake up.
That's the funny thing is like all the good games are fucking rehashes of old games from the golden age, and they're fucking worse because they change them and fuck them up visually or something. So like,
I'm looking at game, I'm literally looking at my Steam library right now and thinking about like stuff that's come out in the last like while that's felt like nice and new and like a breath of fresh air. Talking hard.
I mean, one that got huge was Pseudo Regalia. That was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I was thinking like, you know, like bigger like corpo titles, but yeah. Oh my god, Pseudo Regalia, I loved that game. Movement in that game was addicting.
Pretty neat.
Like
it's pretty neat. I'm not big into movement platformers, but it had fun little playgrounds to climb on, so I was happy.
Yeah, I think with that game, the only thing that made me sad about it is it had like pretty in-depth sort of like combat stuff figured out in it. And then there was like only there is a fight like at the very start, like as you exit the tutorial, where it's like an actual sort of boss fight, and then there's a boss fight at the end of the game, and those are the only 2 times you get to interact with the combat.
Yeah. That's kind of a bummer.
But the movement is super fun, and I that is also another one of the games that's on my list of like archipelago games to play through, just like randomizers to go through every once in a while, because I just love finding new ways to move around that map. Indie games, there's a lot of like really cool ideas being thrown around that make me very happy.
What do you mean? There was a big YouTuber that said today the problem with indies is they don't do anything original. They just remake the same 3 games over and over again. This clown had me blocked for the Breath of the Wild thing, which cracked me up. And he's over here like with that bad of a take.
The voices. It makes me so mad. When I think of like a lot of the games that I played, like even just since the start of this year, like I started the year off. Was it this year? I think it was this year. It might have been last year. But I played like Signalis, and Signalis was like kind of life-changing to me. And
really?
that's just like a, I mean, it takes a lot from like Silent Hill, or just like Silent Hill-esque games, like a lot from Silent Hill 2. But even so, like, man, it does so much with like its sort of story and mechanics and stuff that it just blows me out of the water. It's so cool. I love good horror.
I've kind of rediscovered a love of 2D platform games over the past, I don't know, year, I guess. I played through Bat Boy, I played through Gravity Circuit, I played through a game called Garlic.
Ooh.
Not all the way through it, actually. I only made it part way. That game's hard. It's like Super Meat Boy hard.
Have you played Curse Crackers though? I hear that one.
I have played Curse Crackers. Hey, look. The deal is, and everyone knows this, that everyone who's watching the stream has to go buy our games, right? Everyone knows that. That's already agreed upon.
Yeah, you heard him, chat.
Police comes to your house, and you don't want that to happen.
It's not up to me, right? That's federal law.
And then, like we don't like the Fed either. We get it. The Fed sucks. Like we're all on the same page here. But right
It's
now
just
the
how it
law
is.
is the law.
Yeah.
And until either solar heat death takes out the country or a revolution, we're just kind of stuck with it. So
Yeah.
And we even answered the question earlier, like either Curse Crackers or Prodigal is a really good place to start. So pick up one of those, and you can get the ball rolling. Come on, chop chop, put it in your cart.
There you go. Yeah. One I still have to get to is Fallen Leaf, which
Ooh.
I'm really looking forward to playing that one too when I get the chance. It's been a little busy.
Yeah, I actually got put onto that one by you posting about it on Twitter and
Just
me seeing
incessantly
it.
reposting every single tweet that the developers put out. Yeah.
Yeah,
dude,
and
I
like
have Lou's retweets muted. He fucking does. He
Definitely,
retweets
like-
everything. It's fucking annoying.
definitely like the first time or two I saw you retweet it, I was like, I've never been like huge into like Mega Man-esque stuff, so maybe I'll check it out at some point. But then after like the fourth or fifth one, I was like, man, maybe the brainwashing is working. Maybe I will get this game.
The devs on that one are really cool people,
Yeah, they're awesome.
and like they're getting clowned on, and it fucking sucks, dude. It pisses me off.
Man,
Yeah. Which we're not gonna.
We're
I
not
don't
gonna get into
wanna-
that, but
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, if you want to like support cool people, they're definitely cool people.
Yeah.
What was the name of the game again? Just
Fallen
full-
Leaf.
Yeah. Fallen Leaf.
Fallen Leaf. Okay, Leaf singular.
Yeah. One single leaf.
Cool.
Maybe it's like that short story where there's that girl that's like sick and dying in the bed, and she's like, "When that last leaf on the tree falls, I will die."
And this
You know
is
the
that
one.
leaf.
This
as
is
they
that
die.
leaf. This is that leaf. Yeah.
Yeah, so while you're putting Curse Crackers or Prodigal in your cart, go add that one to your cart too, make it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I was taking Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is like a game.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry. I'm sure
Fuck
I'm sure y'all hate hearing about it.
Min specifically
sorry.
gets
I'm s-
annoyed about it.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I'm sorry. That game is
I'm-
like the video game of all time to me.
It is. It's
I
that's one
apologize.
that people are gonna talk about. In like, as long as people have talked about like Half-Life and stuff, people are gonna talk about that one
Yeah.
because it is that big of a deal.
Mm.
It's I unfortunately watched an entire playthrough of it, so there's nothing there for me.
Yeah.
But it was a very good playthrough watch, let me tell you.
It is one of those kinds of games. But like, man, I adore shit like that. And I've had a few other experiences similar to that. I love games that like you can only play once, and like oof, those hit for me. I'm like, I finish it, I put my controller down, and I'm like, damn. Fuck, I can never do that again. It's gone.
How many games are on my list that piss me off, Lou?
Let's see.
You're such a
I'm
crotchety. You're such a crotchety old man.
I think
That's
there's
one of
five.
them.
That's definitely one of them. That's 1000% one of them.
That's one of them.
Is it just people like talking about it as much as they do, or is it like?
No, that's Danganronpa. If someone says Danganronpa in my presence, I instantly get violent. It's over. I'm gonna kill you. You're dead.
I am zipping my lips.
Like it's cool to like it. That's whatever. But I find that fan base so insufferably annoying.
Oh no, I totally agree. I totally
hear
agree.
the word and I have this visceral reaction that I just have to grab the nearest sharpest object and find its way to you. It's nothing. It's like not personal at all. It's just like instinct, you know.
I'm trying to think of another one that you were really annoyed about.
There's a couple.
Oh, Pizza Tower. Pizza
Fuck
Tower.
Pizza Tower, dude. Oh, that game. Oh, that one.
What's your beef with Pizza Tower? Is it another like fandom issue?
It's fuck ugly art. It's like super memey. It was like a flashbang in a pan, and everyone acts like, "Oh, this is the greatest platform to ever be made!" Wow! And like all these people would play Curse Crackers and not shut the fuck up about Pizza Tower. So
man, that makes me really that in particular makes me really sad. I try really hard to like stay away from playing a game and being like, oh, this is a lot like Plank, or like, oh, this is because like, man, I for the tiny chance that like a dev or something listens in, or like because I hate it when people do that with like art too. Like somebody draws an OC or something and everybody in the comments is like, oh wow, this is just like Hilda Fire Emblem or something like that, and it's like, no, this is my character, fuck you, die.
yeah. It's like, dude, I swear people think game devs are just computers. Like they don't think that we're real people.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, dude.
Lou.
Animal Well doesn't annoy me that much, but it definitely like, ugh. It only rubs me the wrong way because the whole indie thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what annoys me about Animal Well. I don't really have anything personal against Animal Well.
Mm-hmm.
The dude seems cool. We met him briefly at a convention. Lou, of course, like makes friends with everybody. So he's like, "Oh, they're my buddies. I love them." Meanwhile, I'm like, I fucking hate everybody. Like Lou's friends with literally everyone. I'll be in a call with him, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, I hate this fucking guy. I saw him on Twitter today." And Lou's like, "I like that guy. I'm his friend." Like, who the fuck are you not friends with?
Animal has like a particular sour spot. I do want to get to it eventually, but I'm trying to wait until I forget some of the stuff that I accidentally learned about it, because like that week that it was out, like a bunch of people that I follow, a bunch of friends, like a ton of people were playing it, and I learned so much by proxy because I was like, I'm gonna wait on this a little bit because I had other stuff I was playing at the time, and I learned so much accidentally by proxy that I just got really frustrated, and I was like, I don't want to fucking play this. I don't want to touch this shit. I know too much about it now. I'm angry. It goes back to like the backseating thing. It's just like angry. I want to learn the things. I want to do it.
I haven't seen anything of it.
Mm.
I just like don't. I have a special talent for just whenever I can kind of glaze over in my head whenever I look at something and not really pay attention to it, which isn't helpful for Min because he'll send me like memes and stuff, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh okay, and then whoop, forget about it. But
an angry message the next day about the fact that he didn't like look at what
that's right. Yeah. But that, and so I feel like whenever I get to it, I'm going to be able to do it without any spoilers. I had the same experience with Undertale. I got to play that like unspoiled, basically.
Mm.
I think the only thing I was spoiled on was the second form of one of the bosses. But even then, I didn't know what that was, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's somebody. Somebody that I know, I can't remember exactly who it was, but they got to do in the year of our Lord 2023, got to play through Undertale like completely blind, and I was like, how? Like, how did you make it this far? Where were you for the last several years? But I'm so glad they got to have that experience, because that's a damn good video game.
It's easy to forget how enclosed the different like social bubbles we're in actually are.
Yeah.
You know, it can seem like everyone's talking about this one thing, but if you're just not in that circle, you'll never hear anything about. Like maybe you'll just barely hear the periphery, like whispers of something, but you'll never really get spoiled or hear any concrete details.
You've just heard the whispers in the distance.
Yeah, that's right. That's how I am on a lot of things. I'm not in a lot of communities, but I know people who are in different communities, and every once in a while I'll get like a little piece of information from them. I'm like, I see news from across the ocean. Very good.
From across the lands, it has made it my way.
I'm getting a telegram. This is the 1820s. I'm getting a telegram. I'm sitting here with a china cup and a plate, sipping my coffee. New game out. Stop. Undertale. Stop. Like Earthbound. Stop. Very good.
Stop isn't stop. Don't buy it. just listen to the soundtrack on YouTube. You'll have as good of an experience in your wasteless time.
Hey, son, you are such a crotchety old man.
No, dude, the soundtrack. I sincerely believe that the soundtrack is the best part of that game.
It's really good. I will definitely agree with you
incredible.
there. It's
It is an
incredible.
incredible soundtrack, and like I honestly have never played Undertale, but I've spent a ton of time listening to the soundtrack. And like I know the story, I know what happens, I know all these different things. I'm not gonna sit here and say like Undertale's a bad game, but like you can definitely get a lot out of Undertale just from listening to the soundtrack.
Yeah,
It's wild.
Knock. Oh my god.
Look, I didn't say it was a bad game.
Is there a
Okay?
list of things Min enjoys? I can. Yeah. Okay. Min
Coffee
likes
beans.
he likes coffee. He likes brisket. He likes organic whole milk. He likes RuneScape. He likes World of Warcraft. He likes.
No. I don't like World of Warcraft. I'm fucking stuck with World of Warcraft. Okay?
He likes World of Warcraft. He likes various characters in our game. He likes Bleach, or at least a part of it. He likes the early parts of Naruto. Let's see what else I can come up with.
Various characters not named Oakley.
No, I honestly though, I just clown on Oakley because people like her a lot.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Oakley. I think she's gonna go and do cool stuff.
I believe in you, girl.
Not like that.
I will also add, it was mentioned earlier by Dreamy Mist. Everhood. Everhood is also one of those games that I'd highly recommend. It's definitely a lot less on people's radars, but that is like one of my like 5 indie darlings that I cherish very close to my heart.
I keep hearing about it. I don't know anything about it though.
Very, very, very big recommend. I wouldn't talk about it too much because it's one of those games.
One
where,
of
like,
those, yeah.
Yeah, but it is a very fun. It's pretty short and sweet, and it's
Yeah,
good.
this game. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
It makes me smile very wide. I like Tess. I also like Tess.
I don't what's the last game I played? That's the question.
Like actual game?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a little while. I know we played a little bit of last year we played a little bit of Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance.
Dude. Fuck Baldur's Gate 3, bro.
We played a little
Fuck that game. That game is so dog shit, dude. Like, holy fuck, it's bad. Like, Baldur's Gate 2? Great. Baldur's Gate 3? What the fuck is this? Like, why? Why is this?
Oh my
Like,
god.
okay. I'm gonna paint a picture for you, okay? I like
Okay.
RPGs. I think they're cool. I think they're fun. And what do they teach you in RPGs? Interact with things, find things. There's potions, treasure, things to collect, things to craft with. Explore your surroundings. So what I do in Baldur's Gate 3, I look at everything. I dig around in the little barrels that they place. They have a fucking storehouse that's behind a locked door that is full of barrels and crates and boxes. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, if I get in there, I'm going to have so much stuff. There's so much stuff in there. I have to figure out how to get in there. And I spent like an hour or however fucking long it was figuring out how to get in there. And I get into that fucking room, and you know what was in there? One apple! Every other fucking barrel was empty! Why the fuck did I do that? Why the fuck are all the barrels empty, you dipshit? Why did you make this? What's wrong with you?
Hey, look, that apple can feed an entire village for 3 months.
Oh no, we have a horny vampire, so the game's fine. Everybody's gonna love it. They're gonna ignore the fact that we suck ass at making things feel rewarding because we have all these quirky little characters and we can do goofy things.
I respect you.
Fuck Baldur's Gate, dude.
I respect you.
Suck that game's dick. Fuck you.
Well, you can do that in that game too, so.
Like all these people are like drinking up all this slop. Like, oh, this is so good. I love this. This is game of the year. Ooh, the horny vampire. He makes me giggle. Fuck you. What's wrong with gaming? Y'all suck.
Anyway, go play Veritas, where we have this lady that's kind of looks like a vampire.
True.
But she's not horny. She's just cool.
Yeah, so true. Anyways, wood.
Yeah, you can find wood in it too.
Ah, true.
Dude, I kid you not. There were people arguing that. There were people arguing that Baldur's Gate 3 was an indie game.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. That's real. I know you're kidding, but that's a real fucking thing.
My keeps coming up, Smickle. Him and his buddy run a community game awards every year, and I with so much vitriol, because some people mentioned Baldur's Gate 3 for like the indie portion that they had, and with so much vitriol I was like, that is not an indie game. Dude, I will be so angry if this makes it up for nominations.
Oh man, Breath of the Wild, my favorite indie game.
The voices.
Everything
It's
from
self-published.
Nintendo.
It's self-published. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
I think Blue just wants to cause me pain.
I do. It's fun.
I think that's the only reason he keeps working for me is because he knows he can cause me more long-term pain doing that.
It's really funny.
I was sent here by the devil just for you.
Right? You can tell I've had too much to drink because I'm sitting here like full on shit talking Baldur's Gate.
I know you're fuming about Baldur's Gate.
It sucks, dude.
Oh, that was another one of those games that I've owned it since the early access, because I got it the first time the early access released, because I really liked Divinity Original Sin 2 and 1. I really enjoyed those games, so I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll give this a shot. I played through the demo and I was like, yeah, that was buggy, but it was neat, whatever. And then the game actually came out and I was like, oh, I own this game. I don't even have to purchase it or anything.
Oh.
And I just didn't play it. A bunch of my friends around me played it, and I was just like, no, I don't think I'm gonna.
See you, Jess. Thanks for hanging out. I know it's very late for you, or very early. It's both,
Yeah.
one or the other.
Don't have any nightmares.
We're certainly at the end of the scheduled programming currently. We're just yapping.
Oh, we're just having so much fun.
This
Wow.
is it's the after show, you know. The cameras someone left one of the cameras rolling and we're just talking.
True.
Mistake, dude.
It's one of those ones where like the tape gets out and then we all lose our jobs.
Wait. My contract isn't over yet. Please, I want to make it to the end. My lips are sealed. I will not talk about the voices.
The voices.
God.
That's fine. Then I won't fire you.
Yippee! Yeah, I'm excited because while I will be like out of my current work, I'll be in between like actual industry jobs, but at that same time it comes with a certain freedom that I will be very happy to have for a couple months before I'm on a new contract.
Oh, I'm sure.
I can speak my mind.
No, hear me from this mountaintop. These are the games that I worked on, and these are the rats who I worked for.
That's how I feel about when I work back at Nintendo. Ooh. All the people that I worked like directly with, like that were on like the same project as me, all pretty cool people. I loved working with them. Management.
Isn't it always though? Isn't it always management?
Yeah.
I like fast as Nux take.
Actually also hates games just under India. You're so right. It is very rare that I've like, as far as like industry work has gone, that I have sat there and like actively enjoyed what I was playing. I enjoy the stuff that I do for indie devs because I specifically stick my hand out and it's like, hey, you know, this is something that I'd at least enjoy testing at the very least, that I'm interested in, you know, getting some experience and putting my hand in the ring here. But like for industry work, it's just whatever ends up on my plate, and sometimes what ends up on my plate is redacted. Smiles. Everything beyond this point is redacted.
I'm still not convinced it's to my benefit that I'm my own employer, because Mamma Mia, like when it comes to bad decisions and the opportunity to put my foot in my mouth, I'm like, who the fuck's gonna fire me? Me?
100% valid. That's how I feel about like all of my streaming stuff. It's like there's only so many consequences.
I feel like, I mean, on the topic
Smiles.
of playing a lot of different games, I feel like playing like subpar. I hate to say that because there's like work that's gone into it, but
Yeah.
you know, kind of mediocre indie games or even bad indie games. I feel like that is going to lead you to enjoy games more than always chasing whatever the like most popular thing.
Oh yeah.
is.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's how I feel whenever I go play some AAA slop and then I come back to a nice cozy indie game and I'm like, oh, this is peak. This is
I thought you were
awesome.
going to say that's how I feel anytime I play one of your games.
Well, you know, don't put words in my mouth, but I've already made my opinion known where it matters. Known where it matters. Well-known color grave hater. Yeah, for sure. Oh,
Yeah, I think it's cool to play something and see somebody's efforts that have gone into it. I think that's really, you gotta find something that's still gonna be to your tastes or that looks interesting, but you know.
Mm-hmm. I am okay with having like a less than perfect experience if what I'm playing I can feel that like the devs had a good time making it. Like
Yeah.
the whole process was like at least like a good time. Like I can definitely feel in Vernal Edge is another one of my little as another one of my little indie darlings from last year that I played through, and I am in love with that game, and to the bottom of my heart. And I can really feel it in that game, just
Oh,
how much was
absolutely.
put into it and how much like heart and sort of dedication was put into it, and it's like
We
that's good. I can overlook some of the like smaller flaws and other stuff in that game to see the bigger picture of like, damn, this is good soup.
we got to meet some of the people who worked on that game at
Oh.
PAX last year, and I still keep in contact with them. And they're the ones that I talk to are like they're really passionate about game stuff. One of them's working on games right now still. What was it? The Big Catch, right?
Oh yeah.
He's working on level stuff for them, and he's really good. He's really good. He's a really good pixel artist too. Like super, super, super good.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
Yeah.
you know an artist is legit if Lou compliments him.
Yeah, after getting on the project and being like, or after getting on Color Grave and being like, this all sucks. I'm gonna redo it.
That's true. I don't hand compliments out lightly.
I mean, I've seen you on your own streams sitting there looking at the same like 8 pixels for like half an hour and being like, this sucks, I'm redoing it. This sucks, I'm redoing it.
Oh man. We were just working on trying to figure out how portraits are gonna look for the next game. And that was a whole ordeal.
Very, very excited to see. Claire Alamode has me like particularly interested because like I had mentioned before with like the switch from Prodigal to Curse Crackers, it's swapping between the genres that has me really interested with the stuff that you guys do. Because I can trying to figure out how to word this. I can sort of feel the passion that goes from like, we worked on this type of game for quite some time. Let's try something new and have fun with that and do something different. So in that same vein, I'm really interested to see what you guys end up doing with Claire, because it's still a platformer in some sense, but it definitely looks like it's quite a bit different from Curse Crackers.
Yeah, it's got a very different structure at least.
It's supposed to be a lot more arcadey, a little bit more short and sweet little experiences, multiple characters. It's gonna be a little bit more weird and wacky.
Ooh, I do like me some weird and wacky. Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, we're about at the 3-hour mark. Should we start kind of wrapping things up? I don't know where you're at on things.
Yeah, I think we can probably wrap things up. The most I would do at this point is just gush about more indie games. And I don't want to tire out old grumpy Min over here, mentioning another minefield.
I ain't here to promote no other darn indie games.
Anyways,
Fuck
I
them.
love Risk of Rain 2, baby.
I love Smooshy Come Home.
Fuck you, Lou. Fuck that.
All right. Yeah, we can certainly wrap things up here. First of all, I would like to thank y'all for coming on and ask you if there's anything that you want to shill. Any shilling?
I mean,
Play our games. We're starving
Yeah.
and dying. Thanks.
check out our stuff. It's all out there. It's all on Steam at various different price points. So check it out. Check it out now if you want to give us more money. Check it out later on sale if you want to give us less money. It's up to you.
Well, when you put it like that. Mhm. You get the 100% vouch for me for all the Color Grave games. They're a blast, and please go check them out. I'd also like to especially thank you guys because most of the guests up to this point have been like other like primary content creators and mostly VTubers at that point. Just like, you know, friends that I've met throughout the days of streaming. But you guys are the first devs that I've had on, and it was a blast having you guys on today.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having us on. I mean, it's been great having you as a part of the community, and it's been great talking today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pop off. That'd be awkward.
What was that?
I said I hope there aren't any clips that pop off that I can get canceled for talking shit about Baldur's Gate 3, just like I was canceled for talking shit about Breath of the Wild.
You got
Fucking
another
round 2, dude.
you got another thing for people to look at your Twitter and be like, "Oh, this is the guy who hates Breath of the Wild and hates Outer Wilds and hates Baldur's Gate and
This guy's
Pizza
just an
Tower."
asshole. He doesn't like anything. What a jerk.
What a jerk. Just wham, wham, wham. No, your opinion has been awesome on here. I listening to you yep is like my favorite part about this is seeing people's perspectives like outside of their normal environment. Like even some of the streamers and VTubers and stuff that I've had on here have definitely said some stuff that is just like, yeah, I can't stand other people in this community because they do this or that, and I'm like, hell yeah, let it loose, sister.
Wait, we can be hateful in here? Hold on.
Oh no!
Just a chance.
I've been a machine this whole time.
Oh no.
I wanted to express.
Do over.
Yeah, let's restart. Can we restart the timer?
All right, we're back on hour 1, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Time to be hateful.
Other thank yous for me to throw out. Thank you to Doggos for doing the background here and the logo for Sunset Dive and the thumbnail for the like posts I make on Twitter and for the actual YouTube video when eventually this gets posted. Thank you to Sukubon Games for I used their soundtrack and was inspired entirely to make Sunset Dive based off of Valhalla, which is the bartending simulator. And I think that's just about it. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can, however, come back any day of the week for the usual variety content. Next month, I plan on taking on one guest, maybe two, but primarily one guest for Sunset Dive as I sort of try and slow things down a little bit to give myself a tiny bit of a break since I've just been kind of go this month. So yeah, look forward to that. And I will now start to find somebody to raid as I cut and I stop the recording.